Hey everyone, welcome back to the Keep Watching podcast, where we decide what to watch so you don't have to. I'm Sarah.
And I'm James.
And today we're going to be talking about His Man Season 2, first 2 episodes. James, happy Pride Month. How's it going?
Good. We're kind of deep into Pride Month at this point, aren't we?
That we are.
Yeah. Less than halfway, I guess. Less than halfway.
Yeah. Took a while to finish up Transit Love 3, but we're here. We did it.
Yeah.
On to something new. It's exciting.
Yeah. And do you think this show, so that we didn't realize this when we said we were going to watch season 2 of the show, but season 3 of the show comes out later this month.
Are we sure that that's true? Have we found that? Sure. I haven't. The stuff I've seen is like maybe it will. I haven't found any hard confirmation. But if you found something, that's cool.
Well, hold on. I'll give you my reference after I find it again. One second. Here we go. Here it is. Oh, the website that I always get directed to is this website called My Drama List. And they have the airs date set to June 1st, 2024.
Well, I don't think that's happened yet, but maybe soon.
The original network is listed as Wave. I don't know if that's an online network or if it's a TV network.
I think
Wave. I think
it's online. Oh, 2 V's. Okay, that's how you know it's cool, I guess.
Okay, it might be, but it also might be on other like online streaming services as well. Or maybe Wave is the Korean streaming, but the English translation. I don't know. We watched it on.
It had a lot of I's. It was like every other letter was an I.
It's like Icky. IQIYI.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's what we watched it on. I don't know. I mean, this website's usually been pretty accurate, unless the show calls an audible and like changes the day that it airs, like we've seen, or adds. Yeah, that's happened before. But maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, whatever. Also, I was just thinking it made sense that maybe they intentionally drop the show in Pride Month.
Well, Pride Month happens different places, different countries.
Oh,
this is specifically American Pride Month. I don't know that Korea
Pride
celebrates Pride. I don't know. I have not done that research.
Pride Month. Let's do it. Korean Pride Month is from, according to Google, is from January 1st to June 1st to June 30th. So it's the same.
Oh, hey, cool. All right.
I believe the first 2 seasons of this show, which I can
also
check right now, also came out in June.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Seems intentional.
Is the first and only, as far as we know, of queer Korean reality dating show, so a timely drop seems appropriate.
Yeah, let's see, My Drama List. Oh, season 1 came out in July.
Ooh, missed it a little bit.
All right, hold on. His Man season 2 came out in June. Okay, there you go. Okay. Seems intentional. I'll just say it's intentional.
Yeah, sure. Sounds
good.
I
guess the first season they missed it, but
yeah,
they created it, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean they get points for that.
Yeah. Here, let's lap up comments from Transit Love 3 though, real fast.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I just wanted to point there. Someone mentioned that there was some fan speculation that all the exes from Transit Love 3 are back together, which was my prediction in the middle of the season. So I'm just going to assume that that's true, except for Kwante and Jonathan, obviously.
Oh yeah, they're obviously never getting back together. Yeah.
But all the other ones, I'm just assuming.
I feel like a lot of that is based off of like, oh, they took a picture and they're standing next to each other, guys.
Yeah, but who randomly stands next to their ex if they're not together? Come on.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. Who knows?
It seems highly likely to me that that's the case.
Sure. Yeah, probably. Like a lot of those exes seemed like they were angling back at each other anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, Interregnum pointed out an interesting thing that I didn't notice at all while we were watching it. You know how there are all those bus stops? They had little bus stop signs. Apparently, the signs were different colors, and those colors seem to correspond with if the couples were getting back together or not. And that is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it at all. I did not go back to check. And then apparently some of them were like a third color, like gray. And that was Sokyun and Juwon, I believe. So maybe production wasn't entirely sure which direction that one was heading and had to do a less colorful bus stop. I don't know. It's crazy if that's true.
Yeah, maybe. it's the first season they did this bus stop thing, right? And
Hmm.
no matter what, it's such a small sample size that it just could have been a coincidence. But if you want to read into it, you can read
Okay.
into it. That's fun, I guess.
It seems fun to read into it, so
Okay,
why
all
not?
right, there you go. Yeah, when I read that comment, I like wasn't in the right headspace to really like use my brain power to like figure out like, all
Yeah.
right, who went with who and what order could have they gone in? It was like, yeah,
Well, yeah,
it is what it is at this point.
I'm always puzzled by how they figure out the logistics of these at the end, if they give anybody the chance to like change their mind last minute or not,
Yeah,
like
for sure
it's rough.
they thought Dongjin might, and they really wanted him to switch.
Oh, yeah.
That we know for sure. I'm confident in that. And if he had switched, then that would have changed a lot of stuff. So that might have been maybe the domino that
Yeah,
affected
yeah.
the bus stop decisions. I don't know. But yeah, I was happy with Transit 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Glad we're moving on
Absolutely.
to something
It was
else.
fun, but a lot.
But yeah, we're moving on to another show that's like all the other shows we've been watching. Except
yeah.
it's with
Just
all
a
men.
little different. Yeah, yeah.
It's largely the same show with some differences. But
They've taken some interesting approaches that
we've only watched 2 episodes, but
I watched 3. I got
I'm
excited.
worried it's a little too much the same.
Okay, fair.
It's like very. We'll get into maybe we can do a deeper comparison at the end, but I'll definitely be. I mean, this is the first gay reality TV dating show in Korea, right? So
Yeah, that I know of.
I think we have to at least try to see maybe if they change anything compared to other shows.
Mm-hmm.
And we could wildly speculate about why some of the changes they decided to make, but
Okay.
I don't know if we need to go that deep
All right, all right.
to make assumptions. But I don't know.
Okay.
I think some of the changes they did are make this show better than the other ones. I'll be honest, just from a production standpoint, at least. All right, His Men season 2.
Let's do it.
South Korea's highly anticipated second season of the first gay dating reality series is here. 8 attractive guys will cohabitate for 8 days, only 8 days, leading to exciting chemistry and unexpected connections. Who will emerge as the most desirable heartthrob, and who will leave the house hand in hand with a new partner? That was the wiki breakdown of this TV show.
I like that they only give those 2 options. Either you find a partner or you're the most popular person. There's nothing else.
No, those are the things that matter.
That's true. Yeah.
If you don't fall into those 2 categories, we don't care
You
about
lost
you.
the show.
We don't care about you. That's about right for a lot of these shows we watch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually, for us, we tend to like people that don't even get picked at all, right? And they're not the most desirable by the fan base.
Yeah, that's true.
We personally end up liking other people more, but a lot of the times. Yes, so we're probably only going to watch the first 2 episodes of this no matter what, right? Assuming that season 3 would be starting. We could make a decision if we want to watch season 3 if it does come out. I know Sarah's going to watch it.
Oh yeah, I've already watched episode 3 of this because I was having a good time and didn't want to stop watching.
Yeah.
So
we can decide on that later.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
I am so ready. Let's go.
Episode 1, the first blind date. All right. Now this is amazing.
Yeah.
I clicked play on episode 1 of the show.
Yeah.
And then the TV show just started.
Yeah, just right into the action.
It's like first guy walking up the stairs, getting a mission card. Boom, we're in the thick of it already. And then I wrote in my notes after like a minute of watching this, I was like, are there no hosts on this show? Like, what is happening?
No hosts. You have to figure out how to feel about it on your own.
Yeah, that's literally what our job is as podcasting this, right? Like, for us, the hosts are like the most useless part of the show because they're essentially just doing what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And so many times, like, I write down, like, I'll pause the scene, write it down in my notes, and then when they cut to the host later, they'll say
pretty much
say the thing. Yeah. So it's like we do not need the host since we're going to be podcasting about it anyway. Also, the show, the length of the first 2 episodes was only an hour, which you have to give credit to getting rid of the hosts on the TV show. It's better. I'm just going to say I liked it.
I think there's also something to say for it's only 8 days, and I think it's still like 16 episodes. So
I don't for in terms of having hosts, I don't think the length that they are out there matters at all.
they have less content. So like some of the reason the episode's only an hour long is because they don't have hosts to fill up time, but also because they have longer to cover less time. You know, like they have more number of episodes to cover only 8 days as opposed to like
Yeah, but you would think that you would
three
need
weeks with other
hosts.
shows.
Well, you think you would need hosts because there's not as much content. But I just think, those other shows are probably airing on like an actual network.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least
So
have
they
been
have
given like a
prescribed time they
3 hour.
have to
Yeah, they're
fill.
given like a
Yeah.
3 hour plus time slot, which is just like crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they need the hosts on those shows. If they have a time slot to fill, they have to fill it. But this show, I imagine it wasn't backed as heavily by
Yeah, I
whoever
think it was
making it,
made
and they
for
said,
an online,
we
provider.
don't
So
we don't need to pay celebrities. Also, who needs them? Come on, get rid of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would be curious, like, because what we were interested before we knew there were not hosts was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
who are they going to bring in to be the host on the show?
Yeah, yeah.
And what would they talk about? Yeah, I was imagining like having like Korea has to have like gay celebrities, right? They just have to,
Not
right?
a whole lot.
Like
Like
publicly gay celebrities, no.
I know of like maybe two, but I haven't gone searching either. But
I was just imagining they would have like maybe like two gay celebrities and like two straight celebrities, and then they were going to be
mm.
talking a lot about like gay relationships versus straight relationships. I thought that was like I thought that's what we were getting into, honestly.
Right. Yeah, I really like that that's not here. It's just like this is treated like anything else. I mean, other than it doesn't have hosts, but like there's no like commentary on them being gay or like comparison or whatever. It's just they go through
Yeah.
a dating show just like anybody else goes through a dating show.
Yeah. It's like it's all up to the cast to narrate what's going on in the
Mm-hmm.
confessionals, or the production just like throwing the little messages on the screen to like
Yeah,
that's like about it. I liked it. It was
it's
just
good.
shorter. We don't need all that. So,
Mhm.
some of the hosts on the other shows I do like and think are funny, but the majority of them it's like I could go without them.
Yeah.
It's fine. So yeah, first man's, well, all of them one by one are going up to this table separately, I assume, and they're picking up a blind date card.
Yep. And it's just, I think that the sign says like today is your first blind date. Choose a card. Go to the address written on it.
Yeah. So this is kind of like the way when I saw it, it's kind of like how Love Catcher
Love
started.
catcher, Bali.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where there
Exactly.
was basically like, well, they thought there were going to be like 3 locations, but it's really just 2 locations,
Mm-hmm.
and they divide everybody, so you get to meet like half the cast before you go to the house.
Yeah. I like this approach. It gives you a nice little reason to like maybe get more attached to a smaller number of people before everybody just hones in on the one person, that usually
Mm,
happens in these
okay.
shows.
On Love Catcher, though, it was, or on this show, they at least made it seem like it was random by showing them picking up cards. On Love
Yeah.
Catcher, it was definitely like production deciding how to split them up, right?
No, I thought they asked them if they wanted to go
Oh, yeah, they had to choose
to the
between.
the
Oh, yeah,
beach
that one
club
was
or the
weird because
restaurant.
yeah, because that one could have been like theoretically, like all of them could have chose the beach, and then nobody went
That
to the
one did
restaurant.
feel like at least somebody was at the restaurant that probably would have picked the beach, and production went, "No, there's too many people at the beach. You need to
Yeah,
go
I don't
over
know.
here
Yeah,
instead."
yeah, okay, yeah. So
So yeah, we have two
we're going on dates.
locations. Yeah, and it
Well,
starts
it
with just
appears
like
like we're going on one-on-one dates,
yeah, it
but
starts
it's
with where it looks like just two guys are on a date, and then a third one appears, and they're like very surprised. But
well.
you
So
know,
I guess they didn't do this in season 1. They made it. They specifically talked about how one of them did not watch season 1, which makes me assume all of the rest of them watched season 1.
but he specifically didn't watch season one because his ex was on it, and
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
hilarious to me.
I guess the sample size of gay men who would actually agree to be on a TV show might be very
Yeah,
small.
I think
Yeah.
they were probably working with a small casting pool.
Okay.
Even trickier to cast than Transit Love, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
And that seems hard because who wants to go on a show with their ex? But
Yeah. I would assume. Yeah. So we start off with Song Ho and Song Woo.
hmm Sung-ho is a cute little bean with unfortunate neck tattoos. I'll tell you right now, he's my favorite.
He's a cute little being. Okay.
He's a cute
I'll
little
take
bean. Just a little bean. He's
Song-ho
adorable.
is your favorite.
He's my favorite.
That is
I just want
shocking.
good things for this adorable little man.
Wow. Okay, that would not have been anywhere
No?
close to my first guess of who
Okay.
well, I don't know who your favorite would have been, but I certainly wouldn't think that that's yeah, okay, interesting. All right. Well, I
Yeah.
like this part. I like this part. They kind of do it's not as produced as Singles Inferno, but they do like
Mm-hmm.
this self-assessment and confessionals of
Yes,
themselves.
yes.
So I wrote down some of the things they said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your boy Song Ho,
Yes.
age doesn't matter as long as their personalities aren't totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Likes to be loved. That's just a great self-assessment.
And
Okay.
I think
Like
he followed that up with so he'll fall in love, and it sounds like if somebody likes him, he'll just like them back, you know?
evidence doesn't seem to be pointing that way, but okay. Like someone who is kind and positive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he says that he has very pretty eyes.
And nothing else. He literally says that.
Oh yeah,
I have nothing else.
Yeah, but then when the guys ask him later, he tells them
Mm-hmm.
that his ideal type is someone with good taste in clothing. So
Yeah.
either that got edited out of the confessional, but somehow got left in the
Mm-hmm.
conversation. I don't know. Some of these self-assessments are wildly all over the place.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So many of them say like age doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Does every person say that?
I don't think everybody says that, but there's a lot of height talk throughout this.
There is a lot of height talk, which I get. You know, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The height talk. I don't think anybody outright said like I want to date somebody younger or older than me though, right? Whereas with height, they were like, I do like
oh yeah.
them to be shorter. I don't
Yeah, I
think
think
so.
you're
We'll
right.
see. I have more stuff. Okay, Son U. Now,
Mhm.
Son U is, in my eyes, like the main character of the TV show, or like
He's got big
the
main character energy.
like when they were casting for the show, like they expected him to be a big character on the TV show. I'll say.
Yeah. I would
Whether or
agree with
not he gets swept into like the natural storyline that's occurring, we'll see. But I think he's supposed to be like the big character.
that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Song U's ideal type is appearance. That's just a really bad start for me. I'll be honest.
uh,
I've never heard anybody say my ideal type is appearance.
maybe it was an interesting translation and it meant like in terms of appearance or something. Because then I think he says like prefers similar height and somebody who smiles a lot. So
maybe it was like that.
So maybe it was
like ideal type in terms of it. Okay, he probably did say that. Yeah, I think the translations on this website were a little goofy at times.
I wouldn't put it past somebody to be like, my ideal type is hotties. That's it. End of story. Like
yeah. Okay.
I would. Yeah, I could see somebody saying that.
Red flag for me, but okay. Yeah, Sanu wants similar height.
Mm-hmm.
Would be best. And I wrote, is this the ideal type for men dating men? Okay.
That is not true. It's all over the place going forward, I think.
Yeah. But that at the time I was like, oh, I gotta pay attention to the height talk. Because in other shows we're like, oh, ideal height is like the one person comes up to the shoulders or like the woman comes up. I don't know. I don't forget what people said, but dude, I'm so intrigued by this. What's the perfect height analysis?
Unfortunately, I don't think anybody actually said what their exact height is, so you didn't get actual detailed height information like you like.
Some people were called tall. I can probably tell you what I think the tallest is. We'll see. Okay. Songwoo likes someone who smiles a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't like to
fight.
Doesn't like to quarrel. Has dated continuously for 2 to 3 years and has never quarreled with his ex.
That seems.
And I wrote in my notes,
good.
So why did you break up?
Maybe circumstance, maybe somebody got a job and had to move away. You don't know.
Okay.
Or they just amicably went, not really feeling it anymore. Goodbye. Have a nice life. I think it's possible.
All right. He says, I'm the type of person who is patient and dedicated. We got a lot on Songwoo, by the way.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I had some questionable vibes from Songwoo based on this self-assessment.
I get questionable vibes on him later. At this point, I was just like, he seems pleasant, sure, you know.
Really?
I
Okay.
think I think later, I don't know, we'll get into it when it happens, but it seems like he's less interested in a particular person and more just happy he's getting picked for things, you know, like likes the attention. Is sort of the vibe I
Yeah.
get from him later.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, this is a really weird tangent.
Uh-huh.
But have you been watching Acolyte, the Star Wars series that's coming out right now?
I watched the first 2 episodes. I think a third
Okay,
one has come out that I haven't watched.
episode 2,
Uh-huh.
the sister goes to like the shop and there's like that
Mm-hmm.
shopkeeper.
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
I did, and
The
now I
actor.
forget who it was. Yeah.
Okay, it's Jason from The Good
Yeah,
Place.
yeah, that's right. It's Jason from The Good Place. Not acting like Jason from The Good Place at all, but like it took me a moment. I'm like,
This
you're
voice, I was like, this voice is so familiar. But does Sonu remind you of Jason from The Good Place? Because maybe it was just in my head because of Acolyte, but for some reason I was seeing Jason from The Good Place.
I do think he's smarter than Jason from The Good Place.
I'm just saying in terms of looks. Yeah.
Okay, it looks. Yeah. I mean, okay. There's a little something there. Okay.
All right. That's what I'm seeing, but it might just be my mind because I just watched him in something.
Okay.
All right. But then when he's talking to the guys, he tells the guys his ideal type is an introvert, an inside person is how he puts it.
Yeah, I think he says that he's an extrovert and like goes out and does his socializing and wants to come home to like a calm force or whatever, you know, just wants to chill.
So I guess his confessional. He gave his ideal appearance type, and then when the guys asked him, he didn't mention appearance. He just went to the introvert thing.
Yeah,
he went on personality in front of people, but at the confessional, he talked about appearance. Okay. I mean, he's probably being asked, "What's your ideal type in terms of opinion?"
Yeah, he's probably being prompted that way. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We do get a little. They do a lot of just the voiceover confessional talk, like, and so I think they have him say here that when he meets Sungho, he thinks he's very fashionable, like an idol, and he was sparkling. So instantly, votes for our boy Sungho, I guess.
Oh, but Sungho's the one that likes people with good taste in clothing. Well, I guess that makes sense. Well, he doesn't say he has to have nice taste in clothing, but so you assume that he must have nice taste.
But I gotta assume if you describe somebody as sparkling, you find them attractive.
Okay.
Just gotta assume.
I didn't read too much into these like first confessional thoughts, just because they're like, what'd you think of this guy you met for the first time? And it's like, you have to say something nice, right?
Yeah.
I guess you don't have to. I just assumed that you would. So I didn't like read into it too much. Unless there's like a really good facial expression to go with it, which we'll get to later.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Eventually a third man is going to join these two. Let's just talk about him now.
Yeah.
Jung Song.
Yes.
Jun Song.
His ideal type is someone who looks like a punk. But I think later he clarifies, but doesn't act like one. So
I don't know if he did.
I think he clarifies that when he talks to
the group. Feel like this is what I thought happened. This ideal type comes up again. He answers the exact same way he answered a confessional, like about somebody who looks like a punk. And then I feel like they heard him, and then they wanted him to like clarify more. And then like one of them, maybe it was Songho, was like, oh, like somebody that looks like one but doesn't act like it. And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like he was like, he didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Wrong, yeah.
I don't know. That was my interpretation. Like he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't really elaborate, but they wanted like I don't know. They were like didn't want to act like a punk, so they were hoping he just liked people that looked like him or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Who looks like? Does anybody on this cast look like a punk?
I don't know. A bunch of them have tattoos, but other than that, I don't think. I don't know.
Like
I don't know what the idea of a what Korean punk looks like necessarily.
Okay. Yeah,
it might be different than what I'm thinking.
Okay. Songho has the most like obvious tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jin Song also doesn't care about height.
Mm-hmm.
But appearance is most important. He flat out says it.
Yes, must look like punk.
Okay. And Jung Song's ex was on his man 1, so he did not watch it.
Yes. Oh, he makes some bold claims of so far he's dated 100% of the people he's ever liked. So he's got a great success rate.
I thought it
Which
was
seems absurd.
Oh, is that what he said? For some reason, I thought it was like I dated 100% of the people I've dated. I've liked them. So like
Oh
he's
well, I would
not.
hope you did.
Yeah, I was. That's how that my reaction was. But I guess you could say like, I guess you like could like somebody asks you on a date and you just like go on a date. I don't know how.
Yes.
I don't know how you categorize it. But then are you really dating them if you just go on a date with them?
Yeah,
That's it. Like,
I really felt like he was kind of talking up his like success in dating, and like he likes a person and then he dates them. It's just how it goes, you know?
oh, okay. I guess that goes in line with the kind of people that usually get cast on these shows.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like other people have said this thing, but in a different,
Yeah,
different words.
that's
Yeah.
a very Singles Inferno thing. I feel
Oh,
like.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Song Ho tells us that Jung Song is tall.
Okay.
So as of now, I'm assuming Jung Song is the tallest out of the three we've met so far.
Seems reasonable.
Okay, but he doesn't care about height, supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote down Jung Song says about Song Ho. He looks like a cute and naughty little boy, if you know what I'm saying. Is
Yeah, yeah. He
cute
does
and naughty
say that.
little boy punk?
I mean, it seems like he's his type. I think.
Okay, so we can confirm that Song Ho is punk.
I think we can confirm that Sung Ho has neck tattoos, and that is probably a big part of it.
Okay. Is that part of his cuteness or his naughty little boyness?
I think that would be part of the naughty little boyness, I have to assume.
Okay. All right. And overall, like it actually, and then they made it seemed like Song Woo was interested in Jung Song, which I guess is right because he's going to use his phone call later, which we'll get to. Okay. Anything else from these group of three?
I think that's it.
Okay.
That's it for now.
All right. Here we go. Next group of three. We're gonna have six contestants to start the show.
Yes.
Young Hee and Min Song.
Yes.
Young Hee self-assessment.
He wants someone shorter.
I hope
so
he's
he can
shorter.
He wants someone shorter so he can hold him in his arms. He's very direct about what he wants, but I feel like he seems kind of short to me. Does he seem tall to you? I don't know.
Nobody said he's tall, so that could be narrowing the dating pool for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that? Oh, but so he's gonna end up really liking Song Woo.
Yes, who I think is definitely taller than him.
Yeah, the guy that I would think is like the most popular guy or the most outgoing guy. You think he's definitely taller than Young Hee?
I think so.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But
I was about to say, is he have to be shorter?
I don't think about heights until I talk with you about it. Honestly, it's not something I pay attention to most of the time.
Okay. Well, he just hopes they're shorter. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's a deal breaker.
The way that Young Hee is gonna like how quickly Young Hee is gonna like Song Woo, I feel like height was not a factor at all.
Yeah, it didn't matter. He
was
no
like
time
sitting
to
down at
that
the
height.
time. Yeah, I don't think yeah. But then here you go. Young Hee says, "I like to take the lead, but also likes when people suddenly flirt with him." Okay. That's a little contradictory, in my opinion, but okay.
I mean, you can like both, you know.
So he likes to take the lead, but he also likes when other people take the lead. That's just great. You just like everybody.
Who doesn't like it when people they like flirt with them? You know.
Yeah, I agree, but just to say those two things back to back just seemed a little.
Okay.
I literally like anybody that talks to me, or if I talk to them, that's great.
Okay. Well, it sounds like he's gonna have time.
Yeah, as long as there's flirting in any direction, I'm really in on it.
Totally reasonable.
Okay. Young Hee also likes cute personalities.
I think Young Hee has like a serious, maybe almost slightly grumpy face all the time.
Oh,
I don't know, maybe
serious.
Well,
somebody likes people that are serious. Is it one of the new guys? I think it's one of the new guys.
I think it's one of the new guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it might just be he has intense eyebrows. It might just entirely be the eyebrows. But so I don't know. I wasn't expecting him to go for a cute personality, but there you go.
I mean, he seems more serious than a lot of them, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute is very much in the eyes of the beholder, though. So.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Sometimes height is also in the eyes of the beholder, so it's fine.
I mean, height is a pretty objective measurement. Whether or not it's important.
Yeah.
Is in the eyes of the beholder and can fluctuate depending on other factors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, Min Song. Min Song says, "I won't push away those who approach, and I won't stop those who are leaving. So he's like, if someone, yeah, what does this mean? Like, if someone
If
likes
someone's
me,
after him, he's like,
I'm
sure,
into it.
okay.
And then yeah, if someone likes me, I'm into it. But and then when they try to leave,
He's not bothered.
I will like them too much. Oh, I won't stop the. Oh, okay, okay. That's a good.
It
way
sounds
to
like
live.
you, right? Like,
that's a clean way to live, right?
yeah, I thought you would agree with that.
I thought he was saying, for some reason in my head, I was thinking like, oh, people like him, and then he likes that, and then he gets really into them, and then they leave. He like
Doesn't want to let them go.
Won't let them
yeah,
leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually not okay. Oh yeah, what a healthy way to live. Good job, Minsong. Then he says, "I've never cried for love."
But he's made a few people cry for him, so that's a bummer.
Okay, this adds up. Let's make it more consistent. I was so confused when he said that, and I thought it was what it was I said before. Okay, that's consistent. So like people like him, and then they leave, and yeah, he never gets too involved. Never gets his heart too in there. Okay,
That sounds like a bummer. I'm not about that, but
okay.
Doesn't seem very invested, you know?
Yeah, I mean he just hasn't been invested yet, I guess.
That's also true. Throw a yet on there and everything.
I mean, getting invested can also be a bummer, right?
Yes,
Okay.
That's true.
All right, so you know, there's some pros and cons for either direction. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Minsung's he just seems to be, going with the flow right
chilling,
now. He's all right. This strategy of his or whatever he's doing might not be the best for being like a character on the TV show, but
that's true.
In terms of his happiness, I feel like it's working out for him. Okay. He also says appearance doesn't matter. I care more about feelings. All right. Another solid statement.
But then he says that when you're in love, playing hard to get is more fun.
Yeah. What the hell does that mean? So people talk to him, right? And he loves that.
Yeah.
But then he acts like he doesn't love it.
I guess.
And then they end up just walking away and leaving because he didn't show any interest. And then he's like, whatever.
He has no feelings about it because he didn't get invested. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. I mean, yeah, if that's all you need, that's some good stuff, right?
It doesn't seem very effective in the whole I
don't know how he got casted on this TV show, but with that philosophy, but
hey,
they
got 10 guys to come in to the audition and they picked 8, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Nice. They talk for a little bit, but then a third man joins them.
Yes.
Chung-uk.
From Ohio. Or at least who lived
Cleveland,
in Ohio for a while.
I think he lived there and then he left and then he came back and he is currently living there, right?
You think he's currently living in Ohio?
The subtitles made it seem like he lived there for a while, left, and then he moved back there.
In episode 3, you find out their ages and their occupations, and he lives in Korea now.
Oh, okay.
So I'll say that.
The subtitles said like recently moved back, but maybe their subtitles were just wrong. All right. He likes someone taller and stronger than him. Oh, who we match him with here?
I mean, wait, who said they wanted somebody short? I guess it's.
Oh yeah, hopefully he. Wait.
Except I don't know how tall he is, so maybe he's not.
Yes, hopefully he's shorter than Yoonhee, and then Yoonhee can be tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know how tall Yoonhee is.
If they were all going to talk about what height they liked, they should have put their height up on the screen. Yeah, I'm just going to say that. Should be part of that way we could be matchmakers on our end.
Yeah, we need like a tail of the tape for every contestant. But what do we need? We just need height. I mean, what do we need besides heights? Any other measurements we need? Heights is the only one I've ever cared about.
I mean, we eventually find out ages, you know, that's
ages,
that's
yeah,
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, they
should be the rules. You can't talk about your height until day 2 or 3.
Everybody has to like walk in on their knees just everywhere, so you can't tell how tall people really are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just crawling around the house for 3 days. It's a mess.
What if you did like body blind dates, but you could like see their face somehow?
Just Zoom dates? Just you're dating on Zoom.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You do FaceTime dates for like the first day. And then
or you have like, somebody else just carrying around an iPad for you, you know, with your face on it while you go places.
Yeah. And then you meet them, you're like, I really thought I didn't realize how tall you're gonna be, or you seemed like a tall person, but you are not.
It's over. We can't be together. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you were way taller on Zoom. Uh, okay, so he says he likes someone taller and stronger than him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote how tall and how strong are we talking about? But then I feel like they ask him a question along this lines, and doesn't he say like, "Oh, height doesn't matter," like
Yes.
when he's talking to them?
Yes.
So what am
They
I supposed
ask
to
him his
believe?
ideal type, and he says someone who is good at expressing their feelings, and then he says that he doesn't care about height. I think you believe the thing he said in confessional when he didn't
In
have to look at
confessional,
other people
right?
in the face
Yeah,
and be like, I only care if you're tall.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe Younghee and Minsung are not tall, and
Yeah, and it would be
he
awkward
didn't
to
want to
tell
say,
them. Yeah.
yeah, kind of like guys that are tall and strong.
And you guys just don't look like it,
You
so
guys
oops.
don't seem
Yeah.
like that.
It's
Okay.
awkward.
Sorry. Okay. He said he dated somebody for 8 years though, Chung-ok.
Yeah, and then broke up. And then he says if he meets someone serious, he wants to marry them in America. So like
Yeah.
we don't normally get a lot of what people are looking for when they come on this show, right? Like I always assume it's just, they want to be on TV
Yeah.
or whatever. So I like this sort of authentic, like, I'd like to get married, vibe he's coming with.
Yeah. I just looked it up to double check, but yeah, South Korea national law does not recognize same-sex marriage or civil unions.
Yeah, they got a little ways to go on the LGBTQ plus front.
Okay. That makes sense why he said in America. It wasn't
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
lives there. It's just because he can't do it in Korea.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
Okay. Also, is Chung-ok Chinese? Did he say that?
He said that at some point, and I have found no other indication of that. I think
Yeah.
I found an explanation in that in his job information. He
He's
is
like
actually a musician.
I actually saw. Yeah, he's like a songwriter or something.
Yeah, and he moved to Korea to do that. I think he debuted in like 2013, like because he's on the older side.
Oh, okay.
But most of his success has been outside of Korea. So I think maybe he's recently spent some time in China, and maybe that is where this conversation came from, or that comment came from, where he like wasn't quite understanding a saying because he's been speaking Chinese a lot lately, maybe, or Mandarin, or yeah.
Because it was like a confessional thing, and he's actually like not telling them about however much involvement he has had in Chinese culture, whether he is Chinese or he just lived there. He's choosing not to tell them, or is that only because did he tell them once he was allowed to tell them, or is it like actually something he's hiding from them?
I think he was just hiding it for the sake of at this point in the show he wasn't allowed to talk about a lot of things.
He didn't want to be like, oh, I'm living in China right now or something, or
yeah,
or it's part of his job
or
so
something.
Yeah, or something.
I think that's pretty much what it was.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, Chanok seems to think that Min Song is more interested in him than Younghee is.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the only real setup for future stuff that I saw at the time.
Yes.
Oh, because they're gonna go on a date, those two, right? So that's why it was in the edit, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Who is Minsung interested in? Find out later.
Oh wait. No, they don't go on a date. It is.
Oh no, it's Minsung and Jung
Song. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, we'll find out who Minsung is, or will we? All right. To the house. In the subtitles they call it Men's House.
Yes, just Men's House.
Laugh a little bit. All right, off to the Men's House. What is in the other shows? It's like Signal House.
Signal House, or
Does Transit Love have a name?
I don't think they call the house anything. Yeah.
Okay. Guess they couldn't come up with anything. I guess you can't just be the Love House.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that might be on one of these shows. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they do, the traditional like shots around the house or whatever, and they just get, I don't know if it's a tent outside or it just looks like there's a big ass pillow fort somewhere, and I'm like, that looks cozy and like the best time.
Did you feel like this house at all was maybe on a lower budget?
Yeah, probably. I feel like generally like the show feels a little bit lower budget than some of the other ones we've seen, right?
I feel like maybe the space was similar, but maybe they didn't like spruce it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's
all
still like nice house. It's got like good views and everything.
Yeah, it's got a nice like balcony and stuff. I think it's been raining for most of the first 2 days that I watched. They haven't done much other than
I think it's also like winter time or like either early or
Okay.
late winter, like so it gets dark early and it's
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
Okay. All right. You ready for the rules of Men's House?
Oh, I'm ready for these
Do you have the
rules.
rules?
I
You
have
can.
the
All
rules.
right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Give them to me.
First rule, when you move in, you have to find someone you really love with expressing your feelings honestly. You have to. That's a rule.
Yeah. I mean,
Normally it's don't express anything and just kind of wink and nudge at someone and maybe you'll find someone. So
yeah.
that's a fun change.
I mean, if you're getting cast in the show, you would hope that that's what the objective of the individuals be. But maybe they were like, if we make it a rule, then we can really guilt them into doing it.
Number
Okay.
2, you can only use the phone we give you. You can't share social media or contact information. Pretty standard.
And do you think they actually gave them a phone, or is this like the subtitles didn't say phone numbers or something?
I think
You
I
think they
don't know.
physically gave them like new phones? Because we've
Yeah,
never
like
seen that
burner
before.
phones of just that might be one of those things we just don't see.
Oh, I felt in the other shows it seemed very clear that they were using their actual phones, because like they would get a message and then they would like play it off like, oh, they're like buddy texted them sometimes, and
That
nobody
is
never
true.
is like, oh, that is plausible. This
Yeah.
totally isn't just a production phone that you wouldn't have your buddy's number on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this I think also it being shorter probably lends itself more to that. When we're doing Heart Signal, they're living their normal lives, so they would need their real phone. Whereas
Oh, are
this
these
is
people? Oh yeah,
probably
these people aren't living their normal lives, right?
yeah, I don't think so because it's only like the 8
Oh,
days. I think this is more like Love Catcher Bali, where it's like you
yeah.
are
This
dedicated to this show for a week.
Yeah, Love Catcher Bali is probably the closest out of what we watched to the
Hmm.
format of the show. Yeah, yeah.
Or also
Okay.
Singles Inferno, kind of similar, in the shorter time frame, and you are locked into just the show. So, yeah.
In terms of the time frame, but Singles Inferno is its own. Oh, it's its own mess of
Yeah, but you're also like not going anywhere.
the
Like you are
the
just spending time with
paradise
these
and
people.
the things,
Yeah,
actually the
yeah.
challenges on that show.
Okay.
Singles Inferno is its own category, I feel like.
Okay, so
Yeah.
rule 3 is you can't share any information about yourself except for names during the set period of time.
Okay, that's normal.
Yep.
Okay.
4 is a new one. You can't change roommates at will.
The at will part suggests to me that maybe production will switch them up later, or will give them a chance to switch in some capacity.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But yeah, this is a big difference from the straight versions of these shows. It doesn't have to be, right? Like on this show, everybody can date anybody, right?
Right.
So if there ever are going to be roommates, that could greatly impact who ends up pairing with who, or who wants to go on dates with who, or who talks to who, and it would
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
an effect on the romantic aspect of the show.
Yeah, I think this rule is here mostly to be like they don't want people to like couple up immediately and then like never interact with anybody else. They don't have a way to avoid it happening with people who are roommates from the start, but like they're like at least if we do this, you can't just cloister off and never talk to anybody else again.
Yeah. It's interesting, like the balance they went for, though, where like, okay, if you're worried about roommates like choosing each other and then that's just it, like that's the show, then maybe you try to put like everybody in single rooms,
or everybody in rooms of 3 or something, some odd numbered combination.
Oh, 3 could be risking it even more, but yeah, but they decide to do. I mean, by the end of it, when everybody's here, there are gonna be 4 rooms with 2 people, right?
Nope.
Oh, that's not what they do.
They end up with one room of 3, and they literally are making 2 boys share a bed.
And then somebody still has a single room.
Yeah. I forget.
Oh, okay.
Off the top of my
I guess
head,
that's
but
just.
yeah.
I guess that's just the house they got.
I like that you just glossed over the part where I'm like, they make 2 of these boys share a bed. Like they're just like, we don't care. We ran out of beds, guys. Just deal with it.
Oh, whatever. Well, I mean, we've seen that in others. We saw that in Translove 3.
Yeah, but that's different
I guess
because
it's
those
different,
aren't
yeah.
potential dating people, Like it's just a little extra weird when you're like, date people, and also you have to share a room with or share a bed with this person. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
They had room in that room for another small bed. I don't know what they were doing.
Okay, but we should talk about this. But in terms of potential romantic partners,
Uh-huh.
on the TV show, sharing a room, I
Yes.
think created the best moment in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, what, we should just be doing this on all the shows.
Okay.
Like they should just have a guy and a girl be roommates on all the shows.
It would be too scandalous in Korea, I think.
I
I don't
guess.
know. Although
But
Singles
like, I'm
Inferno
just
does
telling
put
you,
them in a
it's better.
hotel. I don't know. Yeah.
It's just better. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think this show,
It
the
was
moment
cute
we're
as
gonna get
hell.
later, yeah, it's better. And I really want to see it. Like you don't, it doesn't have to be a show like this to necessarily have this. It's just the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
shows are like, oh no, women and men can't share rooms, so it doesn't happen.
I mean, there is an inherent weirdness that can come from women and men sharing a room that don't know each other. Like there is a power differential that is awkward that you don't get within a
Yeah,
group of queer guys, you know? So
it's a reality TV show experiment. Let's watch it.
I'm just saying you're more likely to get a bunch of uncomfortable women in that situation rather than like uncomfortable men in this situation, you know?
Okay. I mean, I don't know, but I'll take your word for
No?
it. I mean, I
It's
guess that makes
just
sense, but I wouldn't
there's an extra
necessarily
level
know.
of weirdness between men and
Okay.
women sometimes when you don't know each other and having to room together. I don't know. I've always kind of said that Singles Inferno was a little weird for making them go to a hotel together, you know, like it just feels a little
I don't.
I don't know, like there's room for it to be a little problematic. I don't know.
Okay. I feel like I'm sensing that that's how you feel, but I wouldn't go as
Yeah.
far to say that that's like a vast majority of people. But
I would
especially the
say
people
I'm
that
probably not alone in that. Like
I don't. Yeah,
it's
you're definitely not
just
alone, but you know, that's a TV show. It's interesting. If they did it, it would be
okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it would cause for moments that would make for good TV, and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
without it being like, I don't think anybody they cast in these shows would be like would they be awkward about it? Yes. Would they make it intentionally weird for each other and like be bad roommates? I don't think
One
so.
would hope not.
I think
Yeah,
they would
yeah.
figure it out. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It would just
It's
be
just there's
an
room
extra
for it.
awkwardness to the already awkward TV show.
Yeah, I just think it's another barrier that is in place for that to happen in like a straight show, you know? It's just another one of
Well, they have no
other
choice on
reasons.
this show unless they want to have all single bedrooms.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the show's better for having this. That's all I'm saying.
Fair, fair, fair. Okay,
All
we
right.
got one more rule, which is you can only express your feelings through a 30-second call. That's right. No text at the end of this night. These guys just
Hell yes.
call each other.
Yeah, this show, these rules are kind of what, or the production stuff that we've learned about in these rules are kind of just better, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Romantic interests can be roommates. That's great. Great TV. And we're not texting people. You got to call them on the phone and use your mouth to make words, which is, you know, if I was on the show, would I want to be doing that? No. But as a viewer of the show, way better. Way
It
better
is
than just reading the
so
text.
much more engaging than watching them text each other. And especially because they all like for the most part spread out amongst the house so they can be alone when they get their call and then they can have their full like emotional reaction to it. Like on other shows they get texts, they're all grouped together drinking and they have to like try to play it cool or whatever, and that's lame. I want to see the excitement and nervousness of, you know, getting a call from somebody you like.
Yeah, on the other shows it's always like we get this post narration breakdown of their thought process when they were texting.
Yeah.
But if they just had to call them up and we got to hear whatever came out of their mouth, we wouldn't need that confessional.
Exactly.
So no, less confessionals, less hosts, more content. Let's go. More good content. This is the show's doing it right here. Let's go. All right. Everybody gets to the house right now.
Yes.
And then the first group we talked about walks in last. So the big moment I wrote down is Young-hee is already sitting on the couch. And then Sung-woo's group walks in. And Young-hee just
falls in love immediately.
The biggest, like, what do you call it? Like, Like, he was
They
not
had a
aware of what
music
his face was
change.
doing. He
Yeah,
had
yeah,
no
yeah.
idea what his face was doing. But
And his face was doing like, "Oh my god, this is the man. This is him."
like when he saw himself, like if he watched the show afterwards, he'd be like, I don't remember reacting like that. But like,
Like, I thought I played it so cool.
I thought I was really cool. But he was like, he literally just saw
Yep.
Sungwoo's face, and like you just saw immediately in his
Mhm.
face how attracted he was to him. I don't think we've ever seen anybody like quote unquote fall in love that fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Or just
And like production also did like a music change of like this serious moment of just like, ooh,
Yeah.
and like cut between their two faces. It was so good.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. We're going. This show's very fast paced so far.
Yep.
Then the roommates are randomized. So,
Yes.
and we actually got to see like them reveal the cards in a way that it seemed genuine. Like this was definitely randomized. And this is, I don't know, picking these cards could decide your entire fate of the TV show. Honestly.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, there were some guys that like in their confessional voiceover were like, I'm really hoping for a single room. I do not want to share with anybody. And other people were like, fuck yeah, let's share a room.
Yeah, would you want a roommate, Sarah, if you were in this situation?
Deep in my soul, I never want a roommate. But if I'm trying to do good on the show, you should have a roommate.
That's what I think.
You know?
Unless, yeah, like I know like Song-woo wanted a single room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what the mentality is of like coming on the show and then you want a single room.
Well,
Unless
like,
you're somebody that like you really don't want people to like maybe see you without like getting yourself together in the morning or something. But
or there's also like I need a place to retreat to be alone, even if I'm like on a trip with friends. I do need a time to be without people. Like there's just introverts out there who need
it's a big enough house.
Yeah, but it's more guaranteed when it's your room that you can just shut the door and be like, fuck off, everyone. I would be alone now.
Okay.
Instead of like, oh, I'm on the balcony. Oh, everybody else has come to the balcony. Wait, let me find some other corner of the house.
Yeah, it's 8 days. You can get through it.
It's hard out here for an introvert.
Yeah. I just think I'm almost like I want to have a roommate because if I had the single room, I just feel like I'd be left out of stuff.
Yeah.
That's more my
like if you're on the show, doing the show, trying to play the game, like yeah, you want a roommate, but I fully understand wanting to be alone.
Okay. All right. All right, here are the rooms we get. Son-woo, the popular guy, he does get a single room like he wants.
On the second floor.
Oh, also, floors and everything.
Yeah, also on the second floor, we've got Yoonhee and Jungkook. So Yoonhee's not far from the man he loves.
Okay. I actually didn't get the layout for a second. Okay. And then Jung-sung and Song-ho are roommates. Song-ho is disappointed.
Yeah, he wanted a single.
He wanted
to be alone, yeah.
Yeah, but Jung-sung seems very happy with his roommate selection.
Oh yeah.
Was it because it's Song-ho or just because he got a roommate?
It's probably a little bit of both, I think.
Okay. Min-sung gets a single room.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, Min-sung's not going to be on this TV show. Not because I don't like him. It's just I just don't.
He does not do much the first 2 episodes, yeah.
Yeah. What about the third episode? Is he in the third episode? Is he in the show besides when he like gets sent on a date and they have to put the date in the TV show?
Well, in the third episode, he starts to vibe with one of the guys that come later. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't get to. I met the one.
You haven't met the last guy, yeah.
Yeah, they haven't all kind of reconvened with the new guys. Okay, yeah, so there's still potential. All right, we got our rooms. Now what do we do, Sarah?
Yep. Now it's time for somebody to cook a meal.
Yep.
And I think it's just Yoonhee's taking responsibility for cooking, but like everybody's in there except for 2 of the guys end up not helping.
Yeah. Song-woo is like really just like sitting at the dinner table and watching. But then he's like, for sure, guys, I'll do the dishes afterwards. So. And
he does. So he's not a total slacker.
Yeah. Yeah. So Song-ho helps Yoonhee cook, right?
Yes.
And then Yoonhee, there's like this confessional where like Yoonhee is like, oh wow, he came over and helped me. I really liked that. It made me.
But I don't want to overthink it.
Made my heart flutter a little bit, I like that. And then we just cut to Song-ho who tells us like, I was just hungry and I really wanted to get the food out as fast as possible.
I love
This
this
is the
little
guy
bean.
you.
He's
This is
so
the guy
great.
you like the most.
Yes,
What?
absolutely.
My
My
first impression of
favorite.
him was uh, do you know you're on a TV show?
It's great.
This is the character that you are going into the confessional room booth with. Like this, I guess he's just being himself because this is clearly has no strategy to it in terms of like how I want to be perceived. But
Yeah,
somehow it's working for you, Sarah.
it's fine. Yeah, it's great. I mean, he has plenty of
Okay.
other like I don't think he honestly needed to try that hard for anything. Like everything that comes later, like it's just fine for him. People are into him. It's fine.
Yeah, it's gonna work out. But I mean, if you ask me, like halfway through the first day of the TV show, Songho did
Mhm.
not seem very happy to be there. That was my impression
Okay,
based on
okay.
everything he was giving me.
Well, he was just hungry and needed to eat, and then
Okay.
it'll be better after that.
All right. All right. So if you end up dating this guy, don't let him get hungry.
Well, they have to take care of this sweet little bean. Is the point? I feel like you just feed him and take care of him, and it's fine.
Okay. Interesting. All right. They have dinner. There's dishwashing. Any highlights
hmm
from dinner that you care
Um,
about?
no, it's pretty chill.
Yeah.
You know,
It's all the same. This is usual first night stuff on these shows.
I will say I think they drink a lot less than the straight shows. Like
At
there's a
dinner
lot
or
less. Well, just like the whole like even later into the evening, there's less intense alcohol consumption.
they in the first night it did not seem like they stayed up as late, and then they got up
They
early.
got up real early. Yeah, yeah.
Some of them got up really, like I think they just do it, and then other people had to be waking up early.
Mm-hmm.
Dishwashing though, it's Sung Woo and Jung Song, right?
And they
That
seem
ended
to
up
be
doing.
vibing a little bit, and then like Yoon he walks in and it's just like,
Well,
it's
he's like,
like,
oh, like he's trying to talk to Song Woo, right? So he's
mm-hmm.
like, oh, let me help, and then he's like,
There's
oh,
nothing for him to
there's
do.
not enough
Yeah,
room. Like he tells the question was, I was trying to help, but there wasn't enough room. So, and then he just kind of sits in the chair and
just
yeah,
watches them,
he like honestly, it's like crazy how fast he is like.
just honed in
I
on
need
one
to.
guy, just like
Yeah,
taking it.
it's actually kind of. I can't think of somebody who was like this into somebody this fast out of all
Mm.
all the shows we've watched. Like people do pretty fast, I feel like, but
Yeah, yeah.
we never got it this fast. At least shown
I
to
will
us. Yeah.
say we do find out he's the youngest, so I think that might have something to do with it. I think
Oh,
like
Young, he's the
when
youngest.
yeah, when you're younger, I
Oh.
think you have the way you get attached is a little bit more intense, maybe than when you're older. So I think that might be
Oh,
accounts for a
maybe.
lot of this instant attraction
I
and
mean,
just
we've
honing
seen
in on
young
one guy.
people on TV these shows before. I don't know if it's. I've never seen it like this. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So because later, okay, here's interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I started paying attention or think about why did we just see this? So later, Young Hee does find Sung Woo alone,
Mm-hmm.
like on the balcony or something,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he sits down to talk to him, right?
Yes.
And then that is the end of the scene, and we get no conversation between them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like what happened? Why didn't we see anything?
It's nothing big of note happened. You just needed to know
I
that they
think
did
something
in
big of
fact
note
talk.
happened.
Oh, you think something big of note happens?
Yeah, I think Song Oh was like, yeah, this isn't gonna happen.
Really?
I do, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
We'll get to their when we get to the phone thing later. I guess I'll just say it now. Like the way because Youngie still chooses to call Songo, and he says something about like I decided to be selfish or something along
Mm.
those lines. And I feel like in shows past when we've heard that somebody say that, it's like they say that when they're into somebody, but they like know the other person
Oh, that's
isn't into
true.
them. So I feel
Okay,
like Young
okay.
Hee already knows based on the conversation. I don't know. I don't know I don't know what Sangwoo said exactly, but I feel like Young Hee kind of knows
Mm.
that it's not going to happen with Sangwoo, but he's still so into him that he's going to call him at the end of the first
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Okay, okay.
And the show didn't want to show how definitive, however, this conversation went. That's my best
Well,
guess.
that's an interesting
Because
take. Yeah, yeah.
like I feel like early on, like this was like the most intense feelings we've had so far, and then they
Yeah.
sit down to talk to each other, and we just don't get anything from the conversation, unless there's like some long game going on where this would like spoil whatever
Mm.
surprise they're trying to save for later. But it was just super weird that we got nothing from this conversation.
I was
Why did they
just like,
even? What?
we only have an hour. We can't watch everybody talk. That's how I
Yeah,
took it.
but again, like, why didn't they? Why did they even show him? Why did they even show us that he did talk to him?
Mm.
If you're not going to show us what they talked about, like, they could have just said, "Oh, they didn't get a chance to talk," but Young-hee obviously
You know,
thinks
it
he's
shows
attractive,
how
so he called him. Like, they didn't
it
have to.
it shows how persistent Young-hee is in like trying to find this man and hang out with him, right? Like he is not like he is on his game. Like he's out here trying to do the show, meet this guy, right? He's not gonna like let the opportunity pass.
Yeah, but
That's what I learned
why
about him
wouldn't?
through this scene.
Yeah, but if he's so persistent, when he gets his chance, what does he say? And we don't know. I mean, he gets his phone call later, but the phone call seems to be like a follow up to whatever they talked about here.
Mm. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. It was just odd.
Okay, okay.
I couldn't think of very many times that I can't think of a time that this happened before. It was like, oh, they showed us that these two people were about to talk, and then they didn't show anything
Mm-hmm.
about what they talked about. And there was like clearly like a storyline that was happening here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. It was just kind of weird. And then the main room in that house that we're gonna watch in these two episodes is
Yes.
Jung Song and Song Ho's room. They're
Yep.
roommates. And this is where the main drama and intrigue of the TV show happens. It's in this room,
Yes,
in my
yes.
opinion.
Jun Sung pretty quickly develops feelings about Sung Ho, and Sung Ho's like, "I have a nice roommate. This is nice."
Yeah. Because they're talking and they're just talking about like whatever they're into.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, it just seems like they have very different tastes in things.
Yes.
Right? Like they're talking
Which
about music.
Jun Sung is into. He's like, "I like the opposites attract angle. Let's
Yeah.
go."
They show a confessional where Jung Sung is very positive about. Like they're on the same page. Like they have very different tastes. Jung Sung is, this is great. I love when the person I'm into doesn't have the same taste as me. And Song Ho is like, yeah, we really don't have the same taste in things. I don't think there's anything here.
Yeah.
Okay. Good start. All right. And then they're gonna play the image game. This is not a production thing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you know what this
Because
game was when they said image game? Has this come up before?
I think I even missed the subtitle that said image
okay.
game.
I feel like some season of something we've seen something like this, but it's essentially like you ask a question and then people vote for somebody in the room. Everybody votes all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard to follow. They only did like 3 questions, right? Did you write down the 3?
I think the first one is, who are they interested in getting to know in a one-on-one situation?
Okay, that's what I thought it was. But then based on the pointing, it didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense at all.
So I think what it was, I think Song-woo proposed this question. I think what he was saying was like, who are you the most curious about how that person would be on a one-on-one date?
Oh.
So it's like, it's not even necessarily that like you want to
like
date them. It's just like,
them.
I'm looking at you as a person and I just like can't even imagine you on a date. Like that shit would be crazy.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So it's not like if you point to somebody, it's not really necessarily like a compliment, right? It could be like an insult almost. Like you're just like, I can't even imagine you on a date with anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, because
Jun Sung gets 4 votes and then
Jung Sung gets
2
4 votes. Yeah. Which didn't make any sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what it is.
Yeah, if it was a dating thing, then like he would have pointed at Sunwoo, like
so Jun Song,
like
Jung Sung and Chung Wook voted for Song Ho, and then everybody else voted for Jun Song. Jung Sung is like a little bit of like the punching bag in this conversation for some reason. I don't really know what happened.
Yeah,
but he just like Song-woo is like teasing him a lot. I guess like Song-woo is like kind of into him, right?
Yeah.
But
I think he's also just like has a different vibe from other people, I guess, or is maybe
I guess they're very much like
coming. I'm not sure.
They're very much like just like kind of commenting on everything he does. Like it's like he sits on. They're all sitting on the couch and then he sits on the floor and they're like, you can tell he's Korean.
Yeah.
Like something like that. And then they just kind of keep every time he does something, they like somebody sees it and then they
gotta comment on it.
him.
Yeah.
I don't know why Jung Sung has fallen into this this
It is
role in the house already.
unclear to me. Yeah.
But there you go. They're just like, how are you a person that goes on dates? And they pointed at him. I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. And then like
This
the next
question.
one is who's the person who would be the most tiring if you were together with them? And then he gets 3 votes again, which is the most votes this time. It's
That also, yeah, that was weird to me too. That was even
that
weirder.
seems like a very insulting one. Just like, who are you going to get sick of the easiest?
Yeah, well, I would have just chosen the person who's the most high energy, which would have been Songwoo. But it's not like a
Mm-hmm.
negative thing about him. It's just like,
Yeah.
the more energy you use, the more tired you're gonna be, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't get this at all. Because to me, Jung Sung seems like just like this quiet, shy guy who wouldn't what would be tiring.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I feel like he was just kind of the punching bag. Like people didn't know what to say, so they were just like picking on him almost. Like
Yeah.
they're like, I think other people are gonna point to this guy too. I'll just point at him too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
It was kind of weird. Yeah.
And then who do you want to be roommates with if you can change rooms?
Which they've
Spicy
already been
question.
told they can't.
Yeah, there you go. Min Sung tells us he has a crush on Yoonhee
Mm-hmm.
because he prepared dinner. Oh, I forgot about that actually. So we did
Yeah,
get kind
yeah.
of like something from Min Sung.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's who Min Sung calls.
Yes, yes,
That makes
that's
sense.
right.
Okay. Um, I don't know the major roommate changes, but Sung Ho picks Sung Woo and
Mm-hmm.
doesn't pick his current roommate,
Yes, yes.
who
Because
his
he has
current
feelings
roommate.
about Sung. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Jung Song picks Sung Ho and currently has feelings for him, but his roommate did not pick him back, and yeah, feels bad for
Yes,
Jung
yes.
Song. This was a terrible exercise for Jung Song in general. This,
it was, yeah.
yeah.
But you know
Hmm.
what? He doesn't let it stop him. Like he
I
doesn't get
mean, it
down about
definitely
it. He
gets in his
progresses.
head a little bit.
I think more what gets in the head is like Sung Ho leaves the room because they're hanging out when they go to make calls. So he knows when Sung Ho gets told by production to go make a call and then sees him return and is like, I didn't get a call. I think
Okay,
that
I think it
is
was
the
already in
bigger
his head
thing that
before
gets him.
that, but yeah, that was a
Yeah,
big.
that's probably fair.
That
Yeah.
was the very spicy moment of the TV show that we are missing from all the other versions of this format.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
All right, yeah, because it's time. Everyone gets a text, and it's time to make your call, right?
hmm Yeah, one by one they
Um,
get called out to this like, I don't know, British looking phone
phone
booth
booth.
in the
It's a
in
phone
the
booth, yeah.
yard.
They got the
Yeah.
phone booth from was it in Transit Love 3, like the first episode?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it was but that was like a voicemail from a phone booth. That was even weirder.
yeah. That was weirder, yes.
They call this number to listen to a voicemail from a phone booth. So this is the replacement of the text. I assume have they done this again in episode 3? Is this like they're gonna do this every night?
Yeah, they're gonna do it again. I haven't
Oh
seen them
yeah.
do it, I think, but yeah, they're gonna do it
Okay.
again.
So I think Min Sung goes first. Oh, also I
Yes.
wrote my notes. Can you imagine the heart signal predictions for this TV show?
Well,
At first,
I was thinking it's also great. Like, you don't have to have as many people on this show to have as many potential connections as you do on like a straight show, right? So it's like easier to keep track of people, but
yeah,
harder to keep track of who they might be into because everyone's an option.
the show has the same cast amount as Heart Signals, right? Or do
Well,
they
I
go
don't
to
know
five?
that they're.
Do they
I
go to
don't think
10?
they're gonna go up to 10. I think it stays at 8.
Oh, this show's definitely 8.
Yeah, yeah.
But is Heart Signal? Does Heart Signal go to 10? I'm forgetting right now. Force
I have
8
no
seems right,
memory.
but I'm not sure actually.
I can't remember right now.
I want to say it only goes to 8 also. But yeah, but theoretically, with all the potential pairings on this show, there's way
Mhm.
more matching, right? But at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, as they were going to the phone booth to call, I pretty much predicted who everybody was going to do, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's like it's not that hard. It's as easy to predict ultimately because you just go by what the show's giving you. So you can
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
see who like at most there's going to be like maybe a 50-50 on who like a couple people are going to call, but for the most part you just knew who they were going to call, even though theoretically there was way more combinations of who could have called who,
Right.
but it was still very predictable.
Yeah, the edit's always gonna, lead
Yeah.
you in a direction.
So Minsung goes first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he calls Yoonhee
Yoonhee, yeah,
and thanks him for the food.
yeah. Mm-hmm. I think he talks long enough that it cuts him off. Like they at 30 seconds, it just like drops the call and
Yeah.
that's it.
But what was going on here? So at first I was like, okay, are they altering the voices? Because then like his
I
Younghee
don't
is
think
like,
so at all.
because Younghee is like, oh, who is this? And Minsung's like, I'm not gonna tell. And I was like, wait, is he not allowed to tell? Are they altering the voices? Like, how are they not gonna know? Right?
Yeah, that I thought that maybe there was a rule they couldn't tell them, but then yeah, I when I did get to the second round of calls, somebody I forget who calls who is just like, "Hey, it's me. What's up?" Like, so it must not be a rule.
Yeah, they're not doing voice alteration. Somebody later is gonna be able to tell who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Minsung.
Is being probably a little shy and doesn't want to
But
say who he is.
was he like making his voice deeper, or maybe Younghee just hadn't heard him talk enough to know his voice? Like
Yeah,
what?
like it's day one of meeting five other dudes. It's gonna be hard to pinpoint
Okay.
exactly which voice is who, you know? They might not even
Yeah.
remember the name of everyone in the house at this point, right? It's a
Yeah.
little tricky.
So is this a result of Minsung's ultimately like he liked that young he made the food, but like ultimately he doesn't really have strong feelings, so he's like he wants to be anonymous? Is that kind of the angle that would make sense here?
Yeah, I think he's like not super serious about it, but also is feeling just kind of awkward and shy about it and is like, well, I'll just not tell you who I am and it's fine.
Okay. Because we complain about the texting game of people all the time on the show.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
like this is like the ultimate fail, right? Like he
Yeah, he heard your
actively had
voice
to
and still doesn't know who you
like
are.
he actively had to try in the moment to not reveal who he was, because it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, he wasn't thinking and he forgot to make it obvious in the text who it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he had texted him, he would have just said thanks, like thanks for making the food, and that would have been the text.
Yeah.
And then you could say like, oh, maybe he just didn't think about it. He could have like didn't think about making it more obvious.
But this is the man went, wait, who are you? And he went, I'm not telling.
Yogi gave him a chance to say exactly who he was, and he was like, nope, not doing it. I'm taking this to the side that he's just like, he had to call somebody, but he didn't want to make it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to make whoever he called feel like it was a big deal. So he
Yeah.
tried to hide his
That's
identity.
fair. Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
All right. Sanu calls Jung Song,
Yes.
makes it very obvious that it's him.
Yes.
And he's
I will say, like, everybody else in the house is spread out except for Sungho and Junsong are just in their beds, in their room, just chilling.
Yeah. Younghee decided to like go to the balcony or somewhere to be away from
his roommate,
Chunguk. Yeah. But these Songho and Junsong stayed in the same room together, which is great.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
Like, great. This is what all the other shows should be doing this.
Yes.
Like, you go to your room with your roommate, who is also a potential romantic interest.
Yes.
It is spicy. So yeah, so Songho gets to see that Jungsong gets a call, right?
But he doesn't know who from.
Doesn't know who it is. Jungsong, I think he asked him, but Jungsong doesn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sung Woo is just like, why do I make you feel tired? And then Jungsong is, I think Jungsong is like, I think maybe he was like only expecting Song Ho to call him, and Song Ho was next to him.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when he got a call, he was like very not ready. And it is like a little weird where like Jung Sung doesn't really respond, but it's also like kind of an aggressive question at the start of a phone call. So he basically doesn't say much. He just kind of like, he's like laughing, but that probably doesn't translate through the phone very well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know how long Song-woo waited, but he basically hangs up before the 30 seconds before Jung Sung can even like answer the question.
Yep.
And then, later in a confessional, like I thought maybe this is just his like weird way of flirting. But later in a confessional, like apparently he legit is like not feeling Jung Sung anymore because he felt like he wasn't very good on the phone call.
Did not give him enough adoration, is over it, you know?
Like he did not play along with whatever I was doing with. I gave him 5 seconds and I was done. Like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't feel like being able to watch Jung Sung's reaction and his smile and everything, I feel like in person it would have been fine. But over the phone, it just like was not the back and forth that Sungwoo wanted on the phone. Okay, so apparently Songwoo's done with Jungsong now.
But also, like, part of it might be that, like, Sonu did not get a call back from him. And so he's like, oh, well, he did not express the interest I wanted him to express in me, therefore I am done. I will move on to someone else.
That's probably true too. That yeah, that makes sense with the like I just want people to be flirting with me. Like
Yeah, yeah.
motivation that it seems that he has, yeah. Songho is next, and he calls Sono. And he just says we like the conversations that they had today, right? Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, most of these are just like, it was
We
nice to
didn't
meet
really
you. I would like to get to know you more. That sort of thing is a lot of what these are.
yeah, they throw that in there, but like I feel like there was something to like the call, but this one was like there was nothing like significant for me to write down here.
Mm. Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
other calls, maybe there was a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know why Songho likes Sonu, other than he does
I
seem
don't
like
know
he would just be
either.
the like. I have no real reason knowing this. It just seems like would be like the popular guy
Yeah, he's got that like
on the
real sort
show.
of outgoing sort of energy. Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Songho gets back to the room. This is great. This is so good. Songho gets back to the room, and Jung Song now knows. Well, I didn't
That
get a
he did
phone
not get
call
a
while you were
call.
gone. So Jung Sung is disappointed
Mm-hmm.
because he was expecting him to.
Yeah, yeah. And now he's
Yeah.
like rethinking his whole plan.
This is so great. They're just hanging out in the same room for the rest of this process after this happened.
And Sungho's just like chilling and fine and vibing, and like Jun Sung's just like,
Yeah,
howdy, little boy.
Songho has no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as Songho's
Totally
concerned, like
oblivious.
as far as Songho's concerned, like they talked, they have nothing in common. We don't have to worry
Mm-hmm.
about romantics anymore. We can just be friends and we're cool roommates now.
Exactly. And then like even there's a part where he like Jun Sung is not sure what he's gonna do. And so Sung Ho's just like, just don't put so much pressure on it. It's day one. Just, call somebody that you are thankful for talking to today or whatever. It doesn't have to be like a big interest thing or whatever.
Yeah. He's
He
like giving him advice.
completely
Like,
unaware.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he does say something specific that Jung Sung references to why he still ended up calling. Or no, he like uses.
Yeah, it's
We'll get to what he
like
calls
I was
him. Yeah.
thankful for. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. So Jung Sung theoretically could change his call now because he's actually seen that he didn't get a call from the guy
Yes.
he wanted to.
Which is also way more interesting than the texts.
I'm not sure. We're not 100% sure if he actually could, depending on how they do this. Like he might be locked in.
Yeah.
But when Songho asks him, like, are you still undecided? He says yes.
So it sounds like
But
he still has the choice.
it sounds
But
like he
who
still has
knows?
a choice. Yeah. But he could just be saying yes in terms of like how he's thinking about it, but maybe like his pick is already locked in. I don't know. But it is interesting.
Or maybe he said maybe that was like even filmed earlier and they just slotted it in here
Yeah,
for
who
dramatic
knows?
effects. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. The other thing is about Sungho. Sungho, like he thinks like he just fucking crushed that phone call with Suno, right? Like he's so
Yeah.
excited. He gets back, he's like, "Yeah, I said exactly what I like."
Mhm.
Like to me, I was like, "You just said like some generic shit that I didn't even write down."
I think he was nervous about it, and it's that high
Mm.
afterwards of like, I did that thing I was nervous about. I called the boy I liked. It's fine.
Okay.
I did not put my foot in my mouth. Success.
Yeah, but he just seems like extra hype. Like he like
I think he's
really-
like, there's a bit of adrenaline. I think
I don't
that comes
know.
after like a situation like that. That I think
I
is what he's
guess,
riding
okay.
on.
I feel like that's just not me, but okay.
I also think he's just a happy little, pleasant little bean.
Yeah, I would be nervous, and then I would be glad that it was done, but still not be confident about how it went, regardless
Yeah.
if it was good or bad.
I would not remember how it went at all because my brain shuts things like this down, so I can't pick them apart later. Like I would have no
Okay.
memory of this event at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They talk about it with later. He'd be like, what do you refer? What
And
are you
like, I don't
referencing?"
remember what I said, but hey, if you said it went well, sure.
Yeah, this is an amazing scene that we've never gotten to see before.
Yes.
But we still have a couple picks before Jun Sung's final decision.
Yes.
Young Hee calls Sano, of course, and this is where he says,
Mhm.
"I called you out of selfishness." Was the line I picked up on out of all the things he was saying.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, it feels like something you say when someone's already kind of told you, like, this isn't gonna
Not
happen.
feeling it. Yeah.
Not really feeling it, but you're like, Yeah, people have said these things on other shows. I feel
Mm.
like the end of Singles Inferno when somebody like picks somebody, but they know they're not getting picked back,
Yeah,
and they have
yeah.
to stand there at the beach, like whatever speech they give. Maybe somebody has said this terminology before.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It was just a little weird. And then it finally cuts to confessional, and then we get Sun, who tells us that he doesn't think there's a chance.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think this is squashed.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a very exciting moment for Younghee
It was
meeting Sunu, but I think
a
the
one
story's over
day
already.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a night one, episode one, like
Thing. And
fling.
hopefully
Yeah,
he'll move on. Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I was actually worried, like, oh, is this Younghee's entire story for the rest of the show?
I mean,
It's
the
just this.
beginning of the next day, it does not seem like he's moved on. But
Oh,
maybe by
okay,
the end of the next
maybe it
day.
is. It would make sense. I mean, we've seen it before. Yeah, it
You know,
seems
we
like he
see it
definitely
all the time. Just committed to
yeah
one person who's not into them the
fixated on
whole
one
time.
person. Yeah, because again, these people they're used to,
Mm-hmm.
100% of the time when I like somebody, they date me.
Yep.
So they
Had
only
too
know
much
one way to
success.
go. Yeah. All right. Chung-ok calls Min-sung.
Yes.
This was an interesting choice. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I think I had no idea who he was picking.
Yeah, I don't feel like we got a. Although we did have a confessional, I think, where he said he had some feelings about him.
Oh yeah, there was
But he at
something
least
earlier.
wanted to get him
I think
to
I actually
get to
did
know
write
him
it
a little
down.
bit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He says, "I want to be close to you," so I called. Is that a little?
Can't fault.
That's a
I
little
can't fault
coming on.
that logic.
That's coming on a little strong, right? At least the translation is.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to be close to you, so I called
I
you.
mean, you got to be
If
bold.
you know what I'm saying. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
go.
I don't know if it was as bold as the translation suggested, but
Probably not.
or Min-sung didn't seem to be picking up on it that way. I don't know. And then we get Jin-sung. Who's
Our
he gonna
last to
call?
Yeah.
And then we get the cliffhanger for episode 1. Let's go. Oh no, wait, no, he actually gets to the phone booth, right? And he says,
Yeah, I
"Hi."
think it's
He
just
says,
we get the
he
very
picks up the
beginning of
phone
the
and he
call.
says, "Hi, roommate," and then that's the end of episode 1.
Yep.
I was gonna actually be like so mad if he didn't call his roommate because it was like, this is just like
It's very clear.
this
yeah.
is just great TV if he calls his
Mhm.
roommate. This is so good. So we start episode 2, right? And I'm just like, okay, so this is literally what's happening on the TV show. These two guys, who one of them is romantically interested in the other,
Yes.
are roommates sitting together in a room waiting for this
Mhm.
production process to go on, right?
Yes.
And the final task is that the one that likes the other person has to leave the room. They have to leave the room to go on a phone call to talk to the person they were just in a room with.
And who they will have to be in a room with again
And
immediately afterwards.
After 30 seconds, production will hang up that phone, and then he's going to go back to that exact room where he could have just had that
The
30-second
entire
conversation that would not have been interrupted.
It's amazing.
An amazing process that we need more of on other
Absolutely.
TV shows. Absolutely. Yeah. So
good.
Sung-ho, when he was giving Jung-sung advice, said something about like, oh, just call the person, you're great. You were grateful for them today. Like they made you feel comfortable or something, right?
Yeah, so Jun Sung says that on this call, like, oh yeah, I was grateful for you today. And so then we get a confessional with Sung Ho who's just like, oh yeah, he just took my advice and called me because he was grateful to me, and he says like it's 100% friendship and 0% love is how he sees things with Jun Sung.
Oh, does Jung-sung, does Sung-ho say his feelings are 100% friendship and 0% love, or he thinks Jung-sung's feelings are like that?
I think both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's how Jung-sung, like, he says it on the phone call, and then when he gets back, Sung-ho's like, what are you doing? And then Jung-sung, like, re-explains it and really tries to play it off. It's like, oh, I was just grateful for you today, and you're my roommate, so I didn't know, like, I didn't know who to call, so I just called you. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Totally not, like, infatuated
it's
with you or
embarrassing
anything.
to be like, nope, but I really have the feelings about you, roommate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's trying to cover it up. Yeah.
It's embarrassing to be like, well, we talked earlier and we had like nothing in common. I'm really into that.
Please tell me more things that you like that I absolutely hate. Come on, let's go.
But Jung-sung likes him for cereal, right? For cereal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
already in this first episode, incredible love triangle forming between these phone calls. It's
Yes.
not
No
actually
one
as
matched up
spicy.
at all.
Oh, no one matched up. I'm talking about the love triangle with like the main characters, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not as
Yeah.
spicy because Song-woo's not really the Jung-sung anymore. But there was like a love triangle in the phone calls between Song-ho, Song-woo, and Jung-sung where they all called one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
One side of that triangle is gonna kind of go away, but it's still technically a love triangle because it's 3 people. But it would be like a really incredible scenario if like there were really big feelings, like really big unmatched feelings between 3 people where none of them were connected. Like that would be incredible,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that would play out for like an entire season. It would just kind of be weird, right?
It would be sad. I mean, no one would like. Everyone
Yeah,
would
it's
get
like
tunnel vision on the person they're interested in, and never like turn around and see the other person who's obsessed with them. Yeah.
yeah, but that's not what it's going to end up being. But that based on the phone calls, it seemed like it could have been that until we got that confessional from Songu saying he was done. All right.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, in this second episode, it really feels like someone just like flips his arrow on that triangle, like
Yeah, he's like, oh, this person's flirting with me. That me
yeah,
like
yeah.
me.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And he's not even the person that who's the person that said they were like, oh yeah, when somebody approaches me, I'm all about it. Oh, that was
Wasn't that
Minsong, right?
Minsung?
That was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Minsong. Did Minsong get a call? I think he did. Oh yeah, Chungu called him.
Minsung.
Yeah, Chungu
Yeah,
called
yeah,
Minsong.
yeah.
Okay. But still didn't I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't telling the truth in his date with Jungsung later when he's like Minsung is very like, oh, I don't have really any strong feelings about anybody. That's no
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Give me some fake emotions. Come on, do something. Do something, TV character.
Yeah, third episode, he does some stuff.
Oh, he does? Okay, good. All right. All right. Anything else from the end of night 1? There's
No,
drinking, but they
I
don't stay
mean,
up as late, I don't think.
yeah, I think everybody's just curious about who the person they liked called, but nobody's telling anybody anything. And
There's some like
yeah,
guessing occupations and ages, but I didn't think it was worth
yeah.
writing down.
Nothing big.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. They wake up early morning. What do we get first? Songho goes. Oh, Songho goes to Songwoo's room, and he's like, "Can I put on my makeup with you?" Which is not a thing. It's another thing that we never. I don't think have we ever seen a guy and a girl on the other shows like do makeup
No.
together. I don't think we have. Just like
Actually, I think like I feel like I have a vision of Transit Love 2 when they're in Jeju, like
ooh, this is going
Idu is
back.
in the girl's room doing his hair or something.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's true.
I
Okay,
feel
there you
like that
go.
happens. But
Yeah,
like
okay.
that's a
It
whole
can
hot
happen.
mess of its own situation, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an
It's not like
exes
new
thing.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. Did Songho even give a reason for doing this? I was kind of
I
like,
just
maybe.
assumed it's because his roommate wasn't awake yet and he wanted to be somewhere with a mirror and light. And also, he likes this guy, so perfect excuse.
Yeah,
let's
I
go.
got the like he likes the guy, but like, did he even bother trying to give an excuse, or he just
No,
like, hey,
no,
can I
he
do this with
just,
you?
yeah.
Okay, there we go. I like it. Young-hee is pumping iron in the morning.
Like, and making this hissing noise the whole time.
That's
like,
how you know you're pumping iron.
Is that the noise you make when you are pumping iron? A nice hiss?
Only if I want to be performative, yeah.
Okay. So it's a thing. Got it. Yeah.
I mean, if you're really maxing out, you probably just do it. But I don't know how hard Young-hee was going here. I guess he was going. He was doing. I mean, he should be being performative, right? He's doing it. This. I mean, he's like in the hallway working out.
Well, his roommate also
he's
not awake yet. So
that's true, but he's not trying to be seen.
Yes, fair, absolutely.
Especially when one of the guys, well, maybe he doesn't know this, but like guys that are stronger. And taller. Yeah,
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Gotta pump out the iron. Who was that? Now I need to know. Is this strategy going to work on Mr. Tall Strongman? It was Chunguk.
Yeah, Chunguk.
Okay. I don't think we get anything from those two. Wait, no. Oh no, they do date.
They go on a date. Yeah,
they go on a date. Oh yeah. See, there we go.
There we go.
We're doing it. Okay.
It's working out.
And then when they get downstairs, there's already mission cards on the table in the living room.
Just waiting for them. basically they have cards out on the table and everybody's got to pick one. And it's if you get the arrow card, you can invite somebody who gets a heart card on a date. And the matching session will end in an hour starting from now. Please make up your mind. And like they see this when like 3 guys are awake. So it's just like an awkward like, come on, people, wake up so we can figure this out.
Yeah, do you think they like put it on, like took it upon themselves to be like, okay, I guess we have to wake them up, or do you think like production told them to?
I think production probably told them to
Told them
because
to. Okay.
production was
I
like,
don't
we
think I
gotta
would have.
film these dates.
Yeah, I don't think I would have been so bold as to be like, oh no, this is serious. I need to go wake my roommate up or whatever. I thought it was actually like a little
I
weird
mean,
that they woke them up, but I guess
when
they
when
just
you're
need to get the day
excited
started.
about getting to go out on a date and like Christmas dating
I
morning
guess.
or something, like everybody wake up, let's go.
I think most of them are excited about dating like a specific person, but I guess you don't know
Yeah,
until the results.
you
So.
don't know exactly. You
Yeah.
got to see what cards they picked.
Yeah, so yeah, there's gonna be 3 arrows and 3 hearts, which makes sense. It's kind of just like they just talk about how they want to do it and they decide. It's not like the 3 arrow people could all pick the same person, right?
Right. They
had to
have
like
to pick
figure out
different
how
people.
to. It's weird. Isn't it like it's like a weird choice for them to be like, all right, let's randomly divide them in half, and the people that are like in their own groups can't date each other. So it's kind of like a second day. It's like it's the same as day 1, kind of, I guess, from that standpoint.
It's like you want to keep like people maybe away from the person they really want, for a little longer, just to like it's like when they can't date their exes on Transit Love or whatever, it's just like to make it, a little bit more suspenseful. You can only date these people, or the people don't glom up immediately,
But the natural way to do this to me seems like, okay, they randomly, or supposedly they randomly got split into 2 groups of 3 on the first day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't you just make it so the people in those 2 groups of 3 can't date each other on the second day? It's one group is the arrows and one group is the hearts.
That's true.
But they like re-randomize it in a way that like 2 of the dates could be people that already went on the blind date on the first day. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a kind of like, I don't think we've ever seen just like this way of deciding the dates before.
Yeah. Well,
we've seen these like group discussions where they just kind of like
there's
rock paper scissors or whatever, but
yeah, on Transit Love they had the picture cards, like the guys put together pictures of, I don't know, they just took pictures, right, of the place where they
it's different because they can all date each other.
Yeah.
I guess what they're doing actually is being like, let's divide these 2 people into groups since they're not men and women. And
yeah. Like we're used to having 2 groups.
It's like we can't come with an original concept, so let's just like make 2 groups of people, and then they can't cross date. Like you couldn't come up with a different mechanism. I don't know. I think this was lazy. I think it was this could have been better. Yeah. But whatever.
But the way it turns out is a little spicy.
And this isn't even the end of it. Then they like throw a curveball on the whole thing, and you don't even get the person. One person's not even going to get the person they chose, or they got matched with.
Tragedy.
It's all over the place, honestly.
So okay,
I don't know about this.
We got Sungho, Junsung, and Yoonhee all got arrow cards, and so Sungho's just like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna ask Sono out. Let's go. Yoonhee's also like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna ask Sono out. Let's go. But for whatever reason, Yoonhee just like let Sono pick first, because I guess he didn't think he was gonna pick the person he wanted to date.
Well, who says somebody says something to Sungho? Was it Yoonhee? Because he was like, "Oh, you helped cook breakfast."
Yeah, it was something like that.
But did Yoonhee like actually cook breakfast? Like, was the main person?
No,
I don't know.
Yoonhee cooked dinner the night before. I don't know. I think Yoonhee was trying to be polite or whatever.
Yeah.
And didn't realize that he was putting his own pick in jeopardy when he did this, because he has no idea who people like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, it was a little weird how they decided. Somehow Sungho gets to pick first, and he chooses Sungwoo.
Yeah. And then Yoonhee picks Jungkook, and then Junsung and Minsung are just left over, and I feel like Junsung does not care. It's just like, whatever.
Well, Junsung couldn't pick Sungho because they were both arrows.
So he does not care. Yeah.
So he didn't care from the beginning. Yoonhee actually, after Sungho gets picked, he says to Jung Sung, "Oh, you can pick before me," and then Jung Sung like isn't picking fast
Yeah.
enough, and then Young Hee is like, "You know what? I'll just go with Chung Uk," and he kind of like, I think he got worried that he'd have to go with Min Sung, kind of.
I think at
He
this point,
realized
like,
what the downside was.
both of them didn't care, right? Because they couldn't go with their first pick. And then, yeah, he was just like, okay, this is awkward, or oh no, wait, maybe I do slightly care between these two guys.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, it
So,
was
but
a little disheartening, probably for everybody except for Sonu. Sonu was just like, fuck yeah, I got picked first. I'm the best.
he literally, it didn't seem like he did anything. It's like, just got lucky that somebody was trying to be a nice guy, and then it worked out.
Yeah.
They didn't even rock paper scissors or anything. It was weird.
Yeah, but
Young,
like I feel like Sonu was happy, right? But I think it's just about getting picked and not like necessarily like, oh yeah, it's Sunho. Huzzah. You know, like,
oh yeah, getting picked first must feel great for him.
yeah.
Yeah. Younghee and Chunguk are roommates, right? Min Sung has a single, so Chunguk and Younghee are roommates. So the roommates
Yes,
are
this
going
is
on
true.
dates.
Yes.
Okay. But what's weird is like they're going on a date, and I could not tell you if there was a single scene of them talking in their room together.
That is true. Because Younghee was constantly on the prowl to find out where Sonu was.
I guess that's what it was. He was just never in the room. Okay.
Yeah, he's just not there.
All right. Bit awkward. I think this is a bad first date mechanic. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it was
I think
uninspired. Yeah.
It really is just like trying to do what the other shows do, but like arrows and hearts instead of men and women. It's kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially when it was right there where it's like, oh, you divided them yesterday.
Yeah. That would have been
that's how
easier.
they should have done it.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to like make sure it was a mix up, that's how they should have done it.
But then like I guess everybody is going to get ready for their date. But like Sungho and Junsung are just hanging out in their room. And I think we like cut to everybody else at some point where they're just like, where are those two? And they're just like, oh, they're hanging out in their room with the door closed again, like they always are. So like already this is immediately like become a thing. Like they're always together, just in their room talking, and everybody knows about it.
It's something like Chunguk is going to casually be like, you know what? I've never actually seen their room. I don't know what Chunguk has been doing since he got to this house. And then Sung-woo like jumps on that. He's like, "You need to see the room right now.
Absolutely.
Let's
we
go.
need to go to like break up the conversation."
This is gonna be a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
What are Jungsun and Sung-ho talking about before they even get there? Right.
Well, like Jung-sung like asks him why he chose Sonu. Like he's immediately jealous and a little pouty about the whole situation.
That's a bold move, right? Like, why'd you pick this person?
I mean, as far as Sung-ho knows, like they
don't always
pals.
know.
So of course they're going to talk about, you know, who, because they were chatting about who they might be interested in the day before, right? Even though nobody was giving really definitive answers. Like, I don't think Sung-ho thinks it's weird at all. They're just in friend mode.
I guess on the other shows, they don't actually know like who they texted.
That's true.
So
that is the thing I like about this too. Is like so far everybody just knows who everybody's going on a date with. There's no need to keep it a secret.
Everybody's not on a. Oh, he's asking why he chose him for the date.
Yeah.
Oh, because he didn't know who he actually called him last time.
Right.
Okay. The thing is that Sung-ho couldn't have chosen Jung Song.
Yes.
Right. That wasn't an option.
But I think Jun Sung's just like trying to figure out if he like is really interested in or if it was just like, oh well, he's the one that I had an option, like, you know, who I really wanted to pick, I couldn't, so I picked this other guy.
He must have gave an answer to this question, but it must have been like whatever response because I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I think he says he has a soft spot for him.
Okay, yeah, pretty generic, yeah, but meaningful.
Yeah.
Then though,
Sung-ho
is looking at Jung Song's face,
and
he's like, you know, I really like how you put on your makeup. There's just one spot that's annoying me, basically, and I must fix it for you. Will you let me fix your makeup for you?
And then he does it. It's cute.
There's no way we've gotten anything like this before.
I know.
But like, what is this like? Okay, is this like OCD by Sung-ho?
No. Sung-ho, we find out in the next episode Sung-ho is a makeup artist.
Okay, but still, it's so
that's why it's a thing
like,
that
Okay, so he's just like, but it is like bothering him that like there's this imperfection in his like how his makeup is on or something, right?
And I think it's also like it's his new friends. Like he wants to help him look his best for his date he's about to go on. But also, he's a makeup artist, and it bothers him that it's not perfect.
So it's just this mentality. I guess we should just be thinking, oh, Sung Ho still just sees this as like a 100% relationship.
A
Because I
friendship
wrote like, what is? I
situation.
wrote like, is this like pity flirting? Like I wasn't really sure what it was exactly
I mean,
that
it
he was
might be
doing,
the
but
beginning of him starting to feel things about him. I don't know. I mean, so far he's just
are you think
real.
Song Ho is feeling things? I didn't see.
Probably not.
I didn't think
But
he was feeling anything, but I couldn't tell if like I guess I can't tell how much he realizes how Jung Song's feeling. I guess he's just assuming that they're just friends and this is just a thing that he can do with
I
his friend.
think
Okay.
I think that is the case right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Regardless, is cute as fuck.
Okay. Then Sungwoo and Chono come to interrupt.
Yes.
Yeah. Under the pretense that Jungkook has never seen their room.
It's very important that he sees the room. It looks so different from the other rooms in the house.
And then there's a very joking, sarcastic back and forth about whose room is better. And nothing really happens, but they interrupted them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some dramatic, slight jealousy happens.
Yeah. And then these words come on the screen. At the same moment, a stranger is walking to Men's house. Watch out, boys. There's a stranger on the loose.
Yep.
And we get to meet Hyungjin. All right. Self-assessment from Hyungjin.
He thinks he's pretty popular.
He's pretty popular. Yeah, that very Singles Inferno.
Yep.
He seems to have a deep voice. That
was
my initial impression from his confessional.
I wrote down that he also has a neck tattoo.
He does. Does it say like Carpe Diem or something? It looks like
I don't know what it says. It looks like it says something like that. Yeah.
He likes someone with similar height. Another similar height vote.
Well, he said someone who is similar height or shorter than him. So nobody taller than him.
Yeah, or shorter. But he started similar height.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I guess it's all over. Like some people are saying shorter, some people are saying, well, the tall person didn't say taller, they just said tall. But
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, if you're not gonna say taller or shorter, and you just say tall or short, you need to give an exact height measurement of what you mean by that.
Okay, so that on screen when anybody appears for the first time, we see their name, we see their exact height, and then their exact height preference range.
Yeah, exactly. I need that. Yeah, it's like on a dating app, you give like your age range, right? I want to give me the height range. If you have height standards, let me know. This is important.
Okay.
All right, and he likes mature people. There you go.
Age doesn't matter.
Age doesn't matter. Yeah, when they reveal ages, do ages matter? People say age doesn't matter. Like, I feel like it doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. Like, when some people say age doesn't matter, they just mean like, oh,
within the range that's in my head, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't care if they're older or younger than me. But that doesn't mean like an 8-year gap is not an issue.
Right.
Like it's just saying, because some people are like, I want somebody older, I want somebody younger, and the people that don't care are just, there's definitely a range that's not acceptable.
So the range of ages that we end up with go from 21 to 33.
Okay, 21's pretty young for these shows.
Yeah.
33, that's like a normal high end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Younghee, upon seeing Hyungjin, says he's tall and handsome.
There we go.
There you go. So who wanted the tall boy? I do think, just looking at it, I think I didn't get a look at the newest guy that much, but I think Hyungjin is the tallest.
Might be the tallest.
Seems the biggest. Okay. I also think he's
got tall hair. I'll give him that.
It seems like he was a pro athlete and potentially a skater. Oh, what's his job? You know his job.
He runs a hair salon.
Okay, but what did he used to do?
No, that's it.
That's it? No way. Okay,
no, Yoonhee used to be a Taekwondo athlete and now doesn't have a job because he got injured. So there you go. He was the former athlete.
Okay, well, we'll get to the date that Hyungjin goes on. I'm surprised. I'm surprised, honestly. Okay. All right, that's Hyungjin. And he's showing up. He's rolling into
He shows up with his own mission card.
Yeah.
He has to like open up and read.
They waste no time.
Yeah.
If this is like Transit
get in the
Love,
door,
it would be like doorbell rings, someone goes to answer it, new boy at the door. The new boy comes in, socializes, talks for a while, then the doorbell rings again, and then somebody goes out and there's a letter and then they have to read it.
Yeah.
There's like so many more steps.
This version is they come in reading their ex letter as they step through the door. So his card says, to Hunjin, who is going to move in today, you have the right to choose your date. Your choice comes first. Now choose a man you want to date. The one who loses his date will stay in men's house. So he just gets to come in and snipe a fucking date.
Yeah. But he's like literally not talked to them, right? From what we've seen.
Yeah.
Like he's just like came in, sat on the couch, and he's just choosing.
So you know immediately who he's gonna choose.
Yeah.
Right? Like he chooses Sunwoo. Like
I guess you don't know. I mean, I did predict that, and that's what happened.
That's who I assumed, yeah. And I was like, no, Sung-ho wanted to go on this date. God damn it! You can't just snipe his date like that. I was very sad.
Oh, you were. Oh, because of Sung-ho, you were just sad.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
But Sung-ho was just like, fuck yeah, I got picked first again, and he's really excited.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Jin-sung's like, fuck yeah, Sung-ho isn't going on a date. Best day ever.
It's brutal for Sung-ho, right? Because he has to stay at the house. But I wrote down like probably the second new guys are going to show up. Like, why would the show just like not send someone on a date? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, the second guy's probably going to show up.
And yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
While everybody else is out.
Here's what I thought was spicier though, because they start like they start like showing around the house, and I was like, oh, this new guy Hyungjin. Is he gonna get to pick his room? Because he could literally pick to room with Sano.
Yep.
I choose you for a date and a roommate. I was like, oh no, this is not good for. This is not good for all the people that are interested in Sano. Wow.
But that's not quite what happens. So
Yeah. Well, I never. We don't even get to see where he's gonna sleep, right? How does it get? How does it get decided?
At the end of all of their dates, when they all come home and the new guy is also there. So there's 8 people in the house.
Yeah.
2 rooms have been adjusted.
Oh wait, does Sano get to keep this? He's the one with the single at the end of everything?
Yeah. Sano gets to keep a single at the end.
That seems like a production influence, doesn't it?
Yeah. Min-sung gets an extra bed in his room. And then Jeonuk and Yoonhee get an extra pillow in theirs, and one of like Yoonhee has to share a bed.
They dumped the new guys in the rooms that would cause the least disturbance to what they thought was the good storyline, right? Yeah. Like they can't have Sano share a room with anybody. Like he needs to be the guy that everybody's going after or whatever.
And you don't want to mess with this roommate perfect duo of Jun-sung and Sung-ho. So yeah.
It was random to start.
But then they went, ooh, this is good. We need to
I guess they just got lucky that Sano got a single to begin with.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I'm a bit surprised. I guess on the other shows, they let them decide, right? It's like, oh, there's 2, or like on Transit Love, it's like,
I think they just shove a bed in a room and they're like, you go here.
Oh, for the new people. I'm just talking in general how they decide rooms. It's just like first day, there's like 2 guys' rooms, 2 girls' rooms or something, and then
they usually rock, paper, scissors about whatever.
Rock, paper, scissors. Okay. On Heart Signal, there's, I think, the 2 seasons I watched, like there's only 1 women's room.
Yeah.
So there's not even much choice. Okay.
But the stakes are so much higher on this show in choosing a roommate because
it's everything.
They're people you're gonna date.
Yeah, and just get to talk to the most.
Yeah.
All right. We doing these dates? Damn. Okay.
First we get Sunwoo and Hyungjin, and I wasn't. It was fine. I wasn't upset. I was upset. It's fine.
Man, you're really invested in this Sung-ho guy.
I just.
I am way more into I think the person that I'm watching the show through the most is probably Jung-sung.
That makes sense. And if Sung-ho turns around and likes Jung-sung, I'm all about it. Let's go. Great pairing. But right now, that's not who he's trying to date. So I was sad he got his date sniped.
Okay. Yeah, I was really like Sung-ho just didn't seem like he was that excited to be on the show.
No?
To start, and I kind of was like, oh, okay. I don't know. I was kind of turned off by him a little bit.
Okay.
That was my reaction.
Total different vibes. Okay.
And then I don't know. That's interesting. That was not the person I thought would be the person people would be interested in when watching it. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Yes, they go to a disco skating rink.
Yes.
I don't think we've ever seen an indoor skating rink, like the wood floor ones. What do they call these? Roller rinks. I don't think we've ever
Oh,
seen a
roller
roller.
skating. Yeah.
I don't think we've ever
Yeah,
seen
I don't
roller
think we've
skating
seen it on a
before.
date.
We've
Yeah.
seen ice skating.
Yes. Beware the ice skating.
Yeah, Hyungjin tells us he's good at skating and he can
Hmm.
do a triple axel.
Yeah, that's
I was like,
a
okay,
lot.
so like I didn't think people that weren't professional skaters even bothered doing triple axels. You know what I mean? Like I thought for sure that meant that he at least used to be like a somewhat serious professional ice skater.
I work with a woman who skated as a child and like did competitions and stuff and still goes skating and ice skating, and she can do fancy jumps.
Okay. I guess if you did it as a
Some people
kid,
do
you
it as
just
a
know how to
hobby.
do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just, yeah, like I get skating as a hobby, but to get to the point where you're doing triple axles is like I don't know. I guess I've just never. I mean, I don't go skating, so maybe like if you just casually went to like a roller rink or a skating rink, would there be people doing triple axles?
Probably not.
I don't think so, right?
I think you go during a different time. Like you can't break that out during
There's
free
like the
skate. You're gonna kick somebody in the head, right? You need to have less people on the ice.
I
You
guess so.
know.
Okay, interesting. All right. So I thought for sure Hyungjin was going to be a pro skater, and I was like, oh no, this is not good.
Yeah, yeah. I was also scared of that.
We have a bad history with ice skaters
But it's
specifically.
fine. The man just
Are
does
okay,
hair.
but are we though? Oh wait, well, in terms of what his occupation actually is, but
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see how this date goes.
Okay. He does say he picked roller skating because it was a date where they could get close and touch. And I'm like, okay, this is what I wanted from our last skating date we had on one of these shows, but they just
Yeah,
raced each other.
which caused them to touch each other. I don't understand why you were so down on that. I actually that's like one of the
Yeah,
wilder
because
takes.
I also
Oh, you
didn't
didn't like them.
them.
I think you're very biased in your assessment of that date.
That's fine.
They literally tugged at each other to try to win the race.
Yeah, but that's not as
Okay,
cute.
all right. Well, there's about to be a race right now. You tell me how this race was. I bet you're gonna love this one for some reason.
I mean,
All
it's
right.
better than that one. Yeah.
Okay. Disagree, but that's all right. So Songu said he's not a sports person, so he's never skated before, right?
Yeah, and also he doesn't like things he isn't good at. So I was like, this man's not
That
gonna have a
seems
good
right.
time on
That
this
seems right.
date.
That seems like a
That
an
seems
accurate
exactly right for his
statement.
personality. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But then they decide to have a race for some reason, but it's just like a total joke where Youngjin lets him win.
Lets
But
him win. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't really skate well either, but Sano kind of looks like he's like an old man when he skates. He like keeps his elbows locked and they're up really high, his shoulders really high.
Okay. Yeah. But there is a lot of like, there's some hand holding when they're before the racing, and there's some cuteness. It's a cute date.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh yeah.
but then Songo eventually falls, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Hyungjin actually dusts off Sungho's butt, which
Mm-hmm.
has to be
Yeah.
the most intimate touching we've ever seen.
That is true.
And then, I don't know if you've noticed this. After that, immediately after he dusted off his butt,
Uh-huh.
they cut to like a sign that I think is just at the roller rink
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Uh-huh.
And it's like one of those signs that's like no pet, like no shirt, no shoes, no service or whatever, but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
no
yeah.
pets, no something, and then the last one is like no no too close physical contact.
I think they
But,
mean like don't push people over.
I don't. But why did the show, after he dusted off his ass, immediately
Okay,
cut to this
okay,
random
fair.
sign to say no too close physical contact?
Okay, fair. Yeah, yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
What's the reason? Why did we do that?
To highlight the close physical contact that just happened.
Okay,
I don't know.
weird.
Yeah.
It was just really weird that happened on the show. Okay. All right. Sanu feeds Hyungjin. There you go.
I think somebody feeds somebody on every single one of these dates.
There you go. You're all
Oh.
about that.
Yeah,
All right.
they must be going pretty well.
Or is it just they're doing it so much it doesn't mean anything anymore?
Maybe that's true. I don't know. Maybe it used to mean something, and
It
these
used to
days
mean
it
something
doesn't.
when people were so uh, anti anything, any contact of any sort. But now, yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
um, I did write like these two are like kind of opposites in a way that might work for them. Because
Yeah.
like Hyungjin seems to be into him, and I think he said something about like, oh, I like introverted people. I don't know if Hyungjin is introverted, but he did say
Seems
something to the
less
degree of like,
talkative, right?
I
Like,
want somebody who's
yeah.
different than me.
Mm-hmm.
He specified about introvert, extrovert, but maybe it extends past that. So they really don't seem like a match in terms of what they would have in common, but maybe it's a thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if we've ever seen this before. Hyungjin says that Sonu has one single eyelid and one double eyelid. Has this ever come up
Yes.
before?
Not in a show, but my favorite Monster X boy has the same situation.
Okay.
Damn.
I looked at
It's
it
a
for a little
thing.
bit and I don't even know which
I
eye
didn't
was
notice
which.
it. I never noticed these double eyelids or
It's like, what?
whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just never heard that one before. And that's a good thing, apparently. It sounds like it'd
I
be a
don't know.
bad thing because your like face symmetry would be off, right?
I think Hyungjin
But I
was just
guess
trying
it
to
works.
compliment him, and then like Sodu was probably a little self conscious about it, and I don't
Well,
know.
Sonu was like, "Oh, why'd you pick me?" And then he said something about, "Oh, I like your eyes," and then it led to him saying, "And you have one single eyelid and one double eyelid." But like, I wouldn't immediately assume that that's a good thing.
I thought that Sonu brought up the one because he was like, "You have pretty eyes," and he's like, "Well, which one? They're different." And like,
Oh,
I feel like when
okay.
Hyunjin was saying he has pretty eyes, it was more about like his actual eyeballs and not like the
Yeah, not the
flaps around
lids. Yeah,
them, you know?
yeah. It's usually what people are talking
So
about.
I feel like Sonu is a little like self conscious of it. So if anybody talks about his eyes, he brings it up, and that's why it came up. I
Oh,
think that
okay,
was the vibe.
okay. All right. At this point in the date, though, well,
Hmm.
in my whole watching of this, I was all in on Hyungjin as a pro skater.
But
And
like
I
in the
was
bad
still
way.
worried. Yeah, and I was
Okay.
still worried. And then this happens. Hyungjin says, "The most puzzling thing about you is you seem to be friendly to everyone."
Uh huh.
Is this a red flag comment, Sarah?
I think the way they explain it is like he was maybe gonna feel like he wouldn't be sure about sort of actual feelings. Like he wouldn't know if he was nice to him because he likes him or if he's just nice to everybody. Like not knowing how much to read into that. I think
Okay.
is what it was going towards. But it is a weird thing to bring up, just like
But
it's
I,
weird that you're nice to everybody.
yeah. But I also feel like there was a music shift when he said this.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. It's also like an English translation, so I don't know the exact
Yeah, that's
what
true.
it was meant by it, but I don't know. I took it as like,
Yeah.
oh, this person might be the jealous type. Kind of, it's the kind of thing I feel like you might say if you were like the jealous type. But I guess if you're like
Okay.
trying to figure out if somebody likes you and you can't
Yeah.
figure it out, like that's different. Yeah. Then Hyungjin also says if he likes someone, he will still approach them even though he knows they despise him. Sarah, thoughts on that comment?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
There we go. Okay. Well, unfortunately, he's not an ice skater, but we were close. we're, we're
I
close
mean,
to
let's
keeping the trend going. But he has to
we'll
have
see.
trained in ice skating, so maybe that's the problem.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see how he
Yeah, you'll let me
progresses
know
from
how bad
here.
he is
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
end of it.
Yeah.
I knew you weren't. I knew you didn't like that comment.
And
That is
on top of
very
that, he
anti.
snipes Sunho's date. You know, it's 2 strikes against him already. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that's like the more plain way of saying like, yeah, I'm choosing to be selfish. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
That's basically what
no,
Yogi
I
did
don't
in
care how
episode
you
one,
feel.
right?
I'm just gonna keep coming after
Yeah.
you until you give in. Yeah, not a good
Yeah.
look.
I think it depends on how you go about it. Like,
No.
like if Youngie already knew that Sano was out on him, are you mad that he called him on night one? Like,
I mean, if
it's
it,
no big deal, right?
like literally, if it was like night one of just like, well, we just had this conversation and I haven't had a chance to be interested in anyone else because I talked to you 10 minutes ago. Yeah, sure, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but literally, you could have used that 30 seconds to do something with somebody else.
Eh,
I don't know. It's no
I
big deal
guess.
as long as you're not too. It's weird that the translation used the word "I know they despise me."
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty intense.
That's an intense way of putting it. Yeah. Like I know this person like actually hates me and wants me to leave them alone, but I do not do it.
And it's not like
That's what it
I'm
kind
gonna
of sounds like.
like self-assessment and like fix the things they hate. Just like, nope, full steam ahead. Don't care what you think. Yeah,
Yeah, the despise part is the intense translation part of that. Yeah. Okay. That's about the end of that date, right?
yeah, pretty much.
I don't think we have a match here. I'm hoping we
Yeah,
don't. I don't.
probably not.
I'm so
Yeah.
far. I'm not rooting for Young Jin after that date. Honestly,
Okay, okay.
I might have been trying to get the ice skating narrative to work too much, but also that I think there was some questionable
Okay,
phrasings, at least as the English translation showed it.
okay, okay. We'll see how it progresses.
All right, Jonuk and Younghee.
Yes. They take Jungkook's car, like I guess this is his actual real car, and then they like show a
Yeah,
flashback of him like cleaning it the day before. And the moment Yoonhee gets in it, he's like, "Oh, I smell dogs." Like I guess he didn't clean it that well.
he didn't air freshener it or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's no way they have the money for
Rental cars,
rental
yeah.
cars or what production cars on the show. They're like, yeah, if you want to be on the show, you're gonna need your own car. So your car comes with the deal. Has to be on the
Yeah.
show.
But dogs are a plus for Yoonhee, so it's fine.
Yeah, the dog smell would not be doing it for me.
Yeah, yeah, not
I'd be
not
out.
my vibe either.
I just remembered these two are. This is where I wrote my notes. I just remembered these two are roommates because like I don't think we ever saw a scene in their room the whole time.
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, they're making mugs, right? That's their
Yeah.
activity.
They're like drawing something that will then get put on a mug.
Okay. Any highlights from the mug making?
Um, Chunuk's one is like he wrote stuff on it where he's just like Wook's. I think the translation said Wook's love, and then it was like my stray dog because apparently Yoonghee has a nickname of stray dog, and so like I'm like these are
Who
some
wrote
big
it?
feelings already. Yeah, that was
So,
it was
well,
Chunuk who
okay.
wrote
The
this.
story is Jungkook rescued a stray dog and has had it for 6 years, and he told that story to Younghee. Now,
Mhm.
which one of them? I think Jungkook drew a picture of a dog, right?
But it
And
was
then
like
he wrote
Yoonghee
my
as a
stray
dog.
It was Younghee as a dog, and then he wrote my
Because
stray
Yoonghee was
dog.
drawing
Okay.
him as a rabbit for whatever reason.
Okay. But okay. So Chanuk likes Younghee, right? Have we already established this? I'm getting lost with the less main characters on the show, I'll be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Chanuk
Maybe?
called Minsong.
Oh, that's right.
So
Yeah, I
okay.
didn't like before this. I didn't.
But these
think
two
there
are
was
roommates. These two
things
are roommates
going
though.
on
So
between them. Yeah.
theoretically they've been talking. Is that an indication that this is not going to be a thing because we haven't seen scenes from their roommateness?
Well, maybe they just haven't had time yet because like Yoonghee was out
Maybe.
constantly trying to talk to somebody else.
Possibly. Yeah.
It seemed like some strong words to put on a mug already.
Yeah.
But they seemed like they had a good time.
Yeah. I think that was fine. Like they joke about being like, oh, we should like use these mugs at dinner and really show them off and make everybody jealous. Like they joke about that. So
Yep.
yeah. All right. They get some food. Yeah,
Yep.
Jungkook seems into Younghee, but yeah, I am worried Younghee's narrative on the show is going to be his fixation on
Yes.
Songwoo.
Yes.
So I'm not expecting this to go anywhere, but maybe.
There is an awkward moment where Yoonhee's like, "Let's talk about our top two guys we like. I'll go first. Number one
This
is
awkward as
Sonu,
fuck.
and then
Yeah.
two ... you, I guess." And then
Yeah. But this was
Jungkook's-
Younghee's idea to do this exercise.
yeah. And then Jungkook's like, "Well, we had a nice chat yesterday, so now you're number one in my heart." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you were not on the same page at all."
Doesn't even give a number two.
Yeah,
That we see at least.
yeah.
Yeah. But this was definitely intentional by Younghee. Like it was his idea to do this exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And-
yes.
Like you wouldn't do this exercise if you didn't have an answer to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he basically said, "Let's do this so that I can show you that you're not my number
Yep.
one, and hopefully, yeah." I really think Younghie's narrative of the show is just gonna be Sonok. I mean, just gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah,
Sono,
yeah.
and he
Just
is gonna be It's only 8 days.
yep.
He's just gonna go all in for 8 days.
Yeah,
It's not that crazy
yeah.
compared to other things we've seen on these shows where half the season on like a 3 week show, it's like half the season they're obsessed with one person. It's like he's just
Right,
gonna
right.
be commit for 8 days.
Yeah.
Unless a
All
game
signs
changer
point to
really
that so
changes his
far.
mind. Maybe if the new guys change his mind, but even just from an editing perspective, it seems like
Yeah, yeah. That's what they're
this is the
lining him up for.
storyline. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Next date?
Next date. Minsung and Junsung. These
They're
are
gonna
our poor leftover boys, basically.
yeah. Yeah, they're gonna do a little bit of one of those like self baking shops,
hmm
right? Make your own
This was
cakes and
actually
cookies.
pretty cute for like a leftover matchup, right?
I think
Like it
this is a
seemed like
good
they were having a good
I
time.
think this is a good date activity. I think we've seen making cakes and stuff on other ones. I feel like
hmm
it's usually a pretty good one. I can remember
It just naturally ends up
Minkyu.
looking cute. Yeah.
Yeah, Minkyu and Ji Young, I believe, had a cake date
Yeah,
that
yeah.
very much sold that they seemed like they were good
Yep.
together.
Cake dates are deceptive, I guess.
We might have had some
Fair.
dud ones. I think there was one in Heart Signal too that maybe was just whatever. So maybe it's not always great, but it's pretty good as far as the date activity goes. Better than mug
Yeah,
making.
yeah.
Roller skating depends on who goes, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
But honestly, this in terms of the potential to talk and have chemistry, this might have been the best date of the three.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good date. But yeah, they do like talk about feelings, and Minsung's just like, yeah, I don't have feelings for anybody yet.
Yeah.
Jinsung's like, yes, there's definitely somebody I have feelings for. And doesn't say who it
Yeah.
is, but we all know.
Come on, Minsung. Minsung can't even be bothered to be like, well, I'm on this date with you, so obviously I'm, my heart's fluttering a little bit. Like he could have said that.
That's true.
Give me
But he
something,
didn't.
Minsung. Minsung's like, nope, I don't even want you to know that I have any feelings whatsoever. Jungsung says he has feelings for someone, but he doesn't say who, right?
Right. Yeah. I just wonder if like everybody could tell. Maybe not. But given how everybody's like, those two boys talking in their room with the door closed again, I kind of wonder if everybody's
Well, I
cluing
think they
already.
all. Well, Younghee probably thought. Well, Jungsung wasn't an option to get picked, but they probably all think they're into each other, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not. That's not the case either. So Minsung does say that he's curious about Jungsung, right? When
Yeah, that's
Jungsung like
something.
changes the question to curious instead of feelings
Mm-hmm.
for her. Okay. Yeah, I wrote in my notes. Minsung kind of seems like a dud from a casting perspective. I mean, there's always some, but
Yeah, yeah. But they seem
or
to
he's
have
at least
good banter and a good time at least,
yeah, he's at least coming out real weak on the first two
Yeah.
episodes.
I think he has a potential for swinging things around based on the end of episode 3. Like
Okay,
one of the newer
all right,
guys has some interest in him, so.
okay, all right. Yeah, overall they're like very like teasing with each other and like a joke, like joking. I thought
Mhm.
they had a pretty good back and forth, honestly.
Yeah, but just to like really highlight how much this isn't a thing, probably they go grocery shopping on the end of the date, and Junsung is picking out things for uh our boy Sungho.
Oh yeah.
Like he's specifically shopping for him, and so I don't know. Feels like not gonna be a thing between these two here.
Yeah. But they do this thing at the end where like they each made cookies, right? And they had this whole back and
Mm-hmm.
forth of like, look at this cookie I made, isn't it great? And they were like, no, mine's better. And then they were like, oh, let's each choose the best cookie we made and decide and give their best looking cookie to the best looking guy in the house. But like I'm assuming
Yes,
they couldn't choose each other. Was that part of it?
I think they both knew that this wasn't happening. Probably they weren't really
Okay, so they didn't
vibing.
they didn't actually make that stipulation. It was just okay. But they also said like literally like the best looking guy. It wasn't even like the guy we're most interested in
Mm-hmm.
necessarily. Does this come up in episode 3? Do they give the cookies out?
Um.
Is this
Well,
a thing that's
he
going to happen?
gives the cookies to Sungho. It's what happens.
Okay. So but the cookie. Okay. Of course, yeah. But does Mid Song give his cookie out? The
I
new guy?
don't know that I know
We don't
where
even get
that
the
could get.
conclusion of Min Sung's cookie. He's who cares about it? He's out the show. Who cares?
Well, it's just it was so much more significant where Chun Sung's cookie ended up
Yeah.
because like it was a whole thing. Like he leaves it, it's in a like fancy wrapped box. He puts it because he comes home and he's looking for Sungho. Sungho's nowhere to be found because he ends up going on a date and he's so sad that he can't find this boy. And he puts the box of cookies and like the sugar free Coke that he bought for him on the table at the end of his bed, and then he has a Polaroid selfie he took that he of himself that he puts on it so he knows who it's from. Like this boy's making moves when he gets back from this date.
Okay. And we
It's a
get
whole
nothing
thing.
from Min Sung and his cookie. Yeah, there's no story.
Yeah,
There's
because
no
he's
story for Min
not
Sung.
super into anybody yet. So
So he's thinking he's gonna like save this cookie, like
no, I
days from
think
now, be like, oh
I
yeah,
think the
here's my
time for the cookie is just the timing for him is off. If the
I mean,
cookie
the
happened
new
3 days
guy's
later,
here
maybe
on
it would have
day
been
two, on day 3 or whatever, right?
Yeah, but I
He
think
doesn't get the
the
feelings
connection
fast
might
enough.
take a little bit more for it to be. I don't know what
All
fucking
right,
happens to this
all right.
cookie.
I'm done. I'm done with Min Sung.
Okay.
We get like a kind of a confessional where Jung Sung tells us he likes Min Sung, but it's who knows what the question that was at. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not as much as Song Ho, as you've just illustrated in episode 3. Yeah, okay. All right. And Song Ho's alone in the house.
Yeah. In bed having sad boy times.
Yeah, whatever. Another guy shows up as expected. Hyung Jun.
Yes.
Hyung Jun.
His ideal type is someone who is serious and smells good.
Serious. That would be, to me, serious is probably Young Hee.
Yeah, I would
so
agree.
Far?
Mm-hmm. But we don't know how he smells, so.
True. What's more important, being?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
I like some. I like somebody who is serious. I feel like this not a very serious household so far.
Yeah.
There's a lot of joking around going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll
Unlucky Hyung Jun.
I mean, Min Sung hasn't been particularly funny. He's just there, right?
Min Sung. He was joking around with Jung Sung on their date, though.
I guess it's true.
All right. Hyung Jun likes tall guys, though.
But
if
he's
he's shorter, then
he has to be cute.
Wait, is it Young Hee? Yeah, Young Hee's the one
must
that
be.
liked shorter, right?
Oh no, he wanted somebody who was cute, right?
I'm going back.
Short and cute.
No, who's like, yeah. No, it's not him.
Oh, it's Jungkook.
Wait,
is the one who wants somebody tall and strong, right?
oh
and
yeah,
so he is kind of cute. He's got a cute personality, so maybe that's a matchup that makes sense.
No, yeah, Young Hee says, I hope he's shorter. Yeah, it's Young Hee. Jungkook
they just want the same thing, but
Jungkook likes tall and strong. No, I'm trying to match people based on heights. That's what I'm trying to do. Young Hee wanted people to be shorter, and this guy likes them to be taller, but are their heights right to fit the narrative? Because Young Hee's also the most serious.
Mm-hmm.
So we really could have a match here if we knew what their heights were.
Yeah.
We need to know, TV show. If you're going to talk about heights and you're going to ask them questions and confessionals about heights, and we're supposed to know they like people that are tall or short, we need to know all of their heights. This is not. This is no longer me just being interested in the heights. Like, this is a key component to your TV show. We need to know.
Yeah, they made a point to make most of them tell us if they needed tall boys or short boys.
Yeah, especially on this show. This show more than ever. We need the height information. All right.
Oh, he also says he likes bad boys, though. So.
Ooh. Is he Young Hee? Who's the bad boy? Is bad boy different than Punk?
I don't know. I would assume they would be kind of similar.
Okay. I mean, Sungho, I don't know what Punk is, but I would say Sungho seems like the most bad boy.
Yeah, he's got a look.
Maybe the other new guy's bad boy. I don't know.
Yeah, hard to say.
But Sungho's the only one that's giving us like any kind of like, I wouldn't say villain, but like,
why would you even come close to villain?
Well, usually in these shows, there's like maybe not in these shows so much, but it's like he's giving us confessionals where he's like, yeah, like I was just hungry.
He did that once.
Yeah,
and it was just because it was funny in contrast to the other confessional that
that's why they showed it, but he didn't know what the other person said in confessional. That was like legitimately just like they asked him like, oh, did you help him because like how'd you feel when you were helping him make food? He's like, I was just hungry. Like don't read too much into it. Like
I don't
it's
think
kind
there's
of
anything
like
wrong
it's
with
not
helping someone cook
villainous.
dinner
It's not
just
villainous,
because
but it's
you're
like
hungry.
it's like anti the vibes of the TV show. It's like, it's like
The rest of the time he has been like a cute little giggly boy. Like I don't get where you're coming from at all.
what? I'm just saying everybody else has
Mm-hmm.
not done anything like that. He's the only one. So I'm just saying, okay, who's like the bad boy punk of the group? I don't know.
This is such a low bar
This is a
for being
thing
a
that they're
bad
looking
boy.
for. I have to talk, I have to think about it, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's like the minorest of like he had an overdue library book. What a punk. It's just silly.
I mean, it's different
Okay.
than everybody else. We haven't gotten confessionals from anybody else where they're not like at least playing towards the vibes that production is like. Yeah, so we want people to have feelings about each other. So how are you feeling about like this person? He's like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, nope, nope. It's just hungry,
Okay.
not playing along.
I wouldn't say he's not playing along. He just didn't have any feelings about that guy.
Yeah, most people be like, oh yeah, it was whatever, You
Okay.
try, you
Okay.
try. Other people try even when it's not true. Jungsu was like, yeah, I think I do like Min Song now.
No, what about Sonu was just like there's no chance of anything's happening with Young Hee at all. Not vibing.
Younghee, who said that?
I don't know.
Oh,
After
Sonu.
the calls where he's just like, yeah, this is not. I don't see this
Oh, when
happening.
he called him. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe. Okay, so Sano is the bad guy. The
I
what is it?
don't know
Yeah,
that anybody's a bad
the
guy yet.
translation was literally bad guy that this
Yeah.
young June is into.
I just don't think there's a bad boy here for him to find just yet, based on the
Yeah, like
evidence we have.
earlier when like whoever said punk, who was that? Whoever said punk, and then
Um.
the other people were like, so like somebody who like looks punk but doesn't act punk, right? And he was like, yeah,
Right.
sure.
Right. Right.
Like if somebody was
It was.
like, oh, I like bad guys, I'd be like, do you like people that are terrible or like people that just like look badass?
Yeah.
I like if somebody said bad guys, I would want a clarification on that. On as punk, maybe not as much, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, do these people that like punks and bad guys even have a chance on the show? Like, did they cast punks and bad guys
Yeah. I
on
don't.
this
I don't
TV
really
show?
think they did,
Oh, you have
but
to
I
watch.
think it's they
We're not
don't.
far enough in the season to know this.
Okay. Fair. 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 But I think it's just like the Heights. It's not exactly an exclusive need to match that exactly. They like bad boys. Doesn't mean they have to have a bad boy.
Oh yeah, you didn't say ideal type for bad boy. You just said
Yeah.
also like bad guys. Okay,
Mhm.
all right, all right. They're gonna go on a date, but we don't get to see it right in this episode.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right, how was their date? You want to tell me?
I didn't take notes. I was just watching for fun. It seemed like they had a nice date. They definitely came home last, and so the anxiety that
Yeah, that was
Sonu and Junsong both have waiting for him to come home is palpable and funny.
yeah, that was in the previews. Them being like, "Where are they?
Yeah,
Where's Sungho?"
it seemed like they had a pretty good time.
Did Sungho act bad guy enough?
I don't think he acted like a bad guy. I think they just had a pleasant
Man,
time.
you've really fallen in love with this guy. That's kind of
No,
wild.
I just think he's an adorable little bean, and I want
Yeah,
good things for
that's
him.
crazy. That's crazy. That's not
Okay.
my vibe at all. Interesting. Okay.
Okay. He puts on his big round glasses and his oversized scarf, and he just looks like a teeny little baby. I don't know, adorable.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right. So yeah, where are you at? I mean, you're watching this show without it being on the podcast, so
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying
I don't know.
it. I'm gonna finish it up.
But like, where would this show rank for you in all the shows we've watched? Yeah,
Ooh.
well, I guess you got to go. You can't go up the whole season. I guess it's kind of
Yeah, it's
you
hard to
watched 3
say.
episodes, but I don't think any of the shows you've been like, oh yeah, I got to watch ahead on this. I mean, you kind of knew we weren't watching more. I guess maybe is that why?
Yeah, I like. If
Okay.
I thought we were gonna podcast through the rest of it, I would have probably. But I don't know. I like the snappiness of a 1 hour episode. That is great. I cannot deny that. I love the just mix it up of everybody could be into everybody. Like that's fun. The chaos that ensues when you make a dating show queer and still like try to adhere to some amount of like normal heterosexual bullshit, like when they're dividing them up into groups just so they can't
That
date
was the
some
worst
of
part of the
them.
show. That was the
Like,
worst part.
yeah, it wasn't great for the show, but it is silly to me because I'm like, haha, gay chaos. I love it. Um, yeah, I'm enjoying. Like, I don't hate anybody on the show, which is nice. Like, nobody's rubbing me the wrong way yet. And the calls are great. I love the calls instead of texts because you get to see them have this full experience and react to it, and they're all just adorable as hell. It's great.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of takeaways from this that other shows could use.
Mm-hmm.
With the phone calls and
oh yeah, the roommate angle is clutch.
We're
right
not
now.
getting rid of we're not getting rid of the hosts on other shows. It's like it's not going to happen. But
yeah,
I do enjoy the length. I think was Lovecatcher might have been 90 minutes. I kind of don't remember.
Maybe,
Lovecatcher's still my favorite. I think it's
you
the
like
best
a
balance
little
for me. Plus, there's like
gamification in there.
Yeah, there's like a built-in reason that show to actually like be a villain and like do something else besides like, oh, I'm there to at least pretend like I'm falling in love on a TV show, you know? Like even if I'm not, there's something else to do. I thought the whole idea of like, oh, everybody can date anybody, I thought that was gonna be like a little more spicier, but it was like as predictable, if not more.
Okay.
Somehow. Maybe it was just the group of guys they got and how locked in people got in early and they got unlucky, but it really did not change like the amount of options everybody has. Like no, like probably, and like even if there was like 20 people on the show, I feel like it would be the same way almost. Like no matter what, somebody's gonna just like choose somebody. The kind of people they cast on the show, like they are just people that think there's nothing wrong with it necessarily, but like they're very confident in their ability to like date whoever they want. I feel like, and
that's true of a lot of these shows.
They're not ready. No, it's true of all these shows. But what I'm saying is, like, even though all of them could potentially date each other, it didn't actually make it that much spicier in terms of the narrative. I mean, maybe
I will say here is a spicy, or at least an interesting element. The calls that they do after this day of dates, they don't stick to just. I honestly don't think anybody called who they went on the date with. They were just like, oh, I'm interested in this person now, I'm calling them instead. So I think like as the season goes on, it might get a little spicy. Like they might mix it up a little more.
But that's actually like, are they calling like the same people that they're calling the person they're actually interested in, not the person they went on a date with? Whereas the other shows, it's like,
but I think like even some of it like is changing who they called from yesterday to today. Like they're like obviously like
people do that.
Song is still
too.
calling
like,
somehow,
all over
but
the place.
yeah.
I imagine like mid-song might call a different person every time, just so he doesn't want to look like he's super into anybody, stuff like that. Yeah. For me personally, there's a lack of cute girls on this show, but
okay, yes.
I had to say that.
They should make an all-girl version. I would watch the heck out of that too.
Oh yeah, I would definitely check that out. That I mean, I'd have to watch it, but that could be my favorite version of these shows, honestly.
Okay.
Just to see that. Yeah, what else should they take from the show? I think, I mean, again, they're not going to do this, but like, if you can you imagine Heart Signal where like there's 4 rooms and there's a guy and a girl in each room, like that it had to be roommates.
That'd be crazy.
That would be amazing. That would be so good. So I think there's a lot of takeaways from this that you could incorporate in the other shows and like make it spicier in the everybody can date everybody kind of way, but it won't actually change. I don't think it actually gets that much more spicy, to be honest. But I'm not. You'll have to tell me if you think it does.
Yeah.
But in terms of the first 2 episodes, it definitely did not. So that was like a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
But largely, I would say this is just another season of Heart Signal. It's all it is. like if you don't need cute girls in your show, then this is just another one of the shows that you can watch, right?
Yeah.
There hasn't been any like weird. You only watched the 3rd episode, but it's just going to be dates and all the same Heart Signal stuff. It's not like there's going to be like weird like games.
I don't know if there's challenges or anything.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything like that. So
I don't think so.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, if I continue watching the show, I'm mostly invested in Jung Song.
Yeah.
I think his perspective is the most interesting. I think Songu is like probably going to be the biggest character in the show, but he's like a little bit too much for me in a way that's like I don't really know what his real goals on the show are. I feel like it's like have a good time and try to feel as
yeah
as get other people's
let's get as much attention as possible. Yeah.
Which
that
is
is the vibe I
usually
get
not
from him.
usually not our favorite characters
Yeah,
in the other shows. And yeah, I feel bad for Jung Song. I feel like he's trying to like he's decided to be attracted to somebody who like he literally talked about like not having any of the common interest with.
Yeah.
At least from what we saw. So I guess it feels like he shouldn't be surprised, but again, I don't know how like was he one of the people that says he's dated the like 100% of the people he's like
yeah.
Was he the one that said that? Yeah, so,
I think yeah. We'll see. He might win Sung-ho.
It's like a kind of a reason to root against him, but is he going to win him over? No, he's not going to win him over.
You don't know. He might. I don't know.
That's not a thing.
Sung-ho seems real touched when he comes home and finds the pile of snacks and
this is not a thing that happens on these TV shows. I guess unless you're telling me like the gay version's going to be different, but
it might. I don't
think that's a thing.
I haven't watched it all yet.
Have we ever gotten to a point where somebody was like, "Yep, our relationship is 100% friendship and 0% romance," and then that turned around? I don't think that's a thing.
I mean, it was like 6 hours after he met him, like this time.
There's only 8 days.
7 more days.
It's only 8 days.
Yeah, but they're roommates, so they spend the most time together.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the new guys that much, but I'm actually, even just watched the first episodes, I'm like a little worried. Like there's actually not a lot of mystery. I mean, you say there's people calling each other, but like if I had to say right now, I would say Younghee is just it's only 8 days. Younghee is just gonna be, I can tell you his narrative is Songwoo, right? Let me know if that changes.
I did not actually take notes on who they called the second day, so I can't remember who.
But you just told me at the end was like,
yeah.
In general, did this person's narrative change from episode 2? I think, yeah, there's no way Jung Song and Song Ho is going to be a thing. That's not a thing.
Okay.
We'll
see.
Yeah, I mean the main part of the show is going to be like, oh, who is Sano going to choose, right? Like that's probably going to be the biggest part of the show, but. Yeah, it writes itself from this point. We've seen this before, right?
I don't know. Episode 3, it felt a lot like, and maybe this is just, I'm biased because he's my favorite. It felt like it was, what decision is Sunho going to make? Because he's now got Sunho sort of paying attention to him.
I didn't get to see his date, so yeah, maybe it went well.
Yeah.
But he's not picking Jung Song. That's not a thing.
I don't know. He seemed real charmed by...
he actually went in confessional and actually liked...
I mean, I think
maybe that means it's real.
He got a flutter at least, somewhere along there.
Okay.
And I do know when Jung Sung calls him second night, he is much clearer about his intentions in calling him, and I think he's just like, let's go on a date tomorrow or something like that. So
okay,
all like right.
See, okay, I'm interested in hearing the updates now.
There you
go. Yeah, I probably will watch it. I mean, this is true for pretty much all the shows. But I probably won't watch it if we're not going to podcast about it. But
yeah.
But if you did want to podcast about it, I'd be in. If you want to do season 3, if it actually comes out on the 21st.
Yeah, we got to figure out if it actually exists or not.
If you're really feeling
be
it.
helpful.
I'm not sure if any listeners have watched this show, or somebody did.
Somebody did because they told
whoever
us
suggested
it,
to us. I'm forgetting right now. Whoever suggested us, leave a comment. Or maybe they suggested it and they didn't even watch it themselves.
Maybe
they were just like
like, Sarah likes queer stuff. She'll like.
I mean, if I saw that this existed, I'd have been like, Sarah, look, it's a thing for you to watch, and I would never, I would not have watched 100%. It. So, no shame if you didn't watch it, but you recommended it. That's fine. All right. Any other thoughts? Am I forgetting anything?
It's cute as hell. I can't wait to finish watching it.
Do you think it's actually cuter though?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Okay, that's interesting.
I don't know. There's something. I just feel like they're.
I think it's about the same.
I think it's a lot about the calls. It's a lot about when they get the calls. Those times are super cute. It's way cuter than let me try to keep my face a normal way while I get a text that is not from my ex in front of all these people. You know, like just these genuine moments of reaction to like getting a call from somebody they have a crush on, or just like, oh, somebody likes me enough to call me. Like, it's cute. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I love Jung Song's call when he's like, "Hello, roommate." I thought it was good. I think a good amount of the calls were still like, whatever. Like they were just saying, "Oh, it's good to, you know."
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
know.
reactions on the other end of like, oh, you called
Yeah,
me.
you do get to see.
Cute.
Yeah, it's just a better process. I'm not sure if it's changing the amount of like who has like cute personalities in the show. I feel like the ratio of like, you know, people who I'm interested in and I've already kind of checked out on is about the same as normal.
Okay.
So to me, it's about the same in terms of the cuteness of their relationship so far.
Okay.
But yeah, they need to combine. They need to get a mind meld going with all these shows and take the best parts of all the shows.
I mean, it just sounds like we need to make a show. It's gonna have tight information with all the subtitles.
Oh yeah, nobody's doing that. That's our idea.
Yeah.
Hide information, romantic roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Romantic roommates. That scene was so good. That scene was so good.
It was a really good scene. Yeah.
That scene was so good. No hosts.
Yep.
What else?
Only an hour long.
Yeah. Only an hour long.
Nice and snappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, can you imagine this show with money catchers? Come on. Be great.
Oh, devastating.
This show with money catchers, so good. Minsong. Now, so Minsong, who gives a shit about Minsong in the show? Minsong as a money catcher, though. Oh, now we're talking. We got a whole other type of person in the show that you could be, Minsong. Who do you want that money, Minsong? Let's go.
Could he pull it off? I don't know.
Oh, I think he could.
Okay.
He got Chung to feel something for him, right?
That's true. Yeah,
he could do it. Oh, Minsong as a money catcher. Now we got a TV show. No money catcher on the show. Minsong, who cares? Yeah, money catchers every show. Every show needs money catchers.
Oof.
Yeah. All right. If I actually had to rank this, I haven't watched the whole thing. I don't think it's fair to rank it. After you watch the whole thing, tell me where it ranks for you.
I will. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Sarah will give us an update, or we'll just end up watching the third one if people are interested. Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next time,
Agents of something.
Mystery.
Yeah, Agents of Mystery.
I believe Agents of Mystery is also dropping on the 21st, or is it the 28th?
I thought it was like the 18th.
Oh, the 18th. So it actually comes out a little bit before His Man season 3. I believe there's an extended trailer on Netflix now. Coming Tuesday. That's the 18th. You're right. Okay, 18th.
Damn.
Sweet. So that's perfect. We'll edit the podcast. Yeah, we'll be good. That's what we're watching.
Yeah.
How many episodes?
That's what we're doing next.
I don't know how many episodes are coming out. Maybe I can find that out real fast with a Google search. Agents of Mystery. Well, they only have one episode.
Okay.
On IMDb, so maybe it's only one episode. Don't know how long it's going to be.
We'll see.
It's got to be a multi-episode series, though, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
We think it's going to be like Crime Scene, but yeah.
But
with like more paranormal escape room kind of nonsense.
Yes.
I actually honestly have no idea what the show is. Like, are they solving a mystery? They must be solving a mystery, but also doing escape room stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
And there must be. Are they playing characters like in Crime Scene, where they had to like get roles?
I don't know.
I feel like that must be. Hopefully, that's what's happening. It should be shenanigans. It has.
Yeah. It seems like it'll be fun.
It has the good Transit Love host in it. So, there we go. All right. There we go. Do we have any idea what we're doing after Agents of Mystery? Are we?
I don't think we have.
We have got the people that we're recommending, unless we're forgetting you, and you did suggest My Singles Romance, which I think is wrapping up.
My sibling romance.
What'd I say?
My singles romance.
Oh yeah, My Siblings Romance. A couple people were like, after they got towards the end of the season, were like, you don't need to watch it. So
yeah, apparently there's somebody terrible on that show towards the end.
That's the info we've gotten on that. So we're a little bit wide open now as far as what we could watch.
Mm-hmm.
Would be cool to do a show that's going on if people want to follow along with his Men season 3.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Yeah, I
Agents of
haven't
Mystery
really.
is funny enough, we could watch more episodes of that as well.
That's true. That's true.
But other than that, people send in ideas, and
Yep.
I guess we'll probably have a deeper discussion on the next podcast about what we're doing next.
Yeah.
If we don't come up with, if we don't get any suggestions that work out, but yeah, send in your ideas.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anything else, Sarah?
No. I think
All right.
that's everything.
All right. Where can people contact us?
People can email us keepwatchingpod@gmail.com, tweet at us at keepwatchingpod, Instagram at us at keepwatchingpod, leave a comment under the video on YouTube also at keepwatchingpod. And if you want to leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, that would be great too. You'll notice I haven't mentioned our TikTok account. It's because of as of today, they've suspended our account, and I don't know why. Who knows if we'll have TikTok? We'll see.
Who needs them?
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't like our videos.
How many TikToks did we post before it got banned? You
I
literally
wanna
posted
say
the
like
same thing that's on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
same
the
thing that's on
entire
Instagram.
account.
I backfilled all of the Transit Love 3 videos, so it's just all Transit Love 3 previews.
Oh, they didn't like that.
That's it. I guess I don't know. I have not got an answer as to how I have.
Oh, the only thing I can think of is like
guidelines.
we definitely curse in those, but does that matter?
I don't think cursing matters.
Okay, I
Does
don't know.
cursing
I've
matter
never
on
touched.
TikTok?
I've literally never touched TikTok in my life, so I
I
have no
don't-
idea. We definitely curse in those clips, though, if that matters.
Yeah. And I definitely don't blur any of it out. But
Instagram doesn't care.
yeah, and like I looked through the community guidelines, and it was like horrible things, like endangering a minor, or like faking a protest, or like just like crazy shit that I'm like, we're just talking about a dating show on a podcast. This can't be a problem, can it? I don't know. TikTok's a mystery.
Find out
we'll see.
one day, maybe.
or maybe we'll never know. Maybe that was it. Our short run on TikTok is done. And, I may also just be giving up on Threads because nobody uses Threads. So, whatever.
Don't even talk about Threads in the podcast. That's just embarrassing, I think.
Okay, I will never mention it again.
I think we don't need to talk about it.
It's just Twitter and Instagram and YouTube from here on out.
Anywhere you want to look for us, it's the same tag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Keep watching pod.
Yep.
If we're not there, then we're not on there.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay.
Because our videos are too controversial.
Yeah, we've been perma-banned on those platforms.
Perma-banned.
We've tried to play on every platform, but a lot of them has perma-banned us.
See, now who are the bad boys? Mm-hmm. It's us.
Just me, I guess.
Non-gender specific bad boys. There we go.
There you go. All right. All right. Yeah, that was the podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.